want to expose myself to you guys when we start talking about like achievements and how I can't finish anything.
Put your dick away, Stoy.
Well, you know, it's a Sunday afternoon. We're here podcasting. I got to get comfortable.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. Happy Halloween. And welcome to Hair of the Dogcast.
Yeah, this will be coming out the day after Halloween.
Yeah, so...
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. My mom's already putting the tree up. I can sense it.
Thanksgiving is still coming, okay? Keep that in mind.
Yes.
All right, for us Americans.
I saw eggnog at Sendik's the other day, so it's over.
I saw, we were at Eagle Park on Friday, and we already saw a Christmas commercial.
Were you
John Travolta's back again, playing Santa.
Does he dance?
Yeah, he was dancing a little bit, yeah.
He always dances.
Yeah.
Were you at Muskego or...
Muskego, yeah.
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 Did you try their new beer?
I had their Hammerschlagen, but
Okay.
I know they had a whole slew of like different like bourbon barrel aged stuff, and then there was like I forget the name of it.
Something Ghostbusters beer?
My wife had the Ecto Cooler, yeah.
Yeah.
I will be going to Eagle Park a lot more as soon as Huey Lewis and the Booziest comes back.
It's back.
It's back?
It's back,
Okay,
yeah.
good.
I saw that on the menu because
I know what I'm doing today.
All right.
Going to the Last of Us pop-up at Lost Whale.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
There's
that's
a
today.
what?
There's a Last of Us pop-up, and it's like,
Whoa.
like 5 blocks away. We were there Friday. It was really great. I'm Brad.
I'm Tyler.
I'm Stoy.
Dylan is unfortunately not here. He should be back ASAP. Family stuff. Send your thoughts and wishes and beers and love towards Dylan. But yes, we hung out the other day. He loves Fall of the House of Usher. Mario Wonder's great. Sonic is better than he thought it would be.
I've been hearing
God
that
is
a lot.
dead. Eat ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the vibes I was supposed to convey. So yeah, he'll be back.
Here's one for you, Dylan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a minute since we've done a Dogcast.
Well,
Well, it's been a month.
you're pulling behind the curtain because according to the fans, we've been diligently podcasting every week, and we didn't take a month off.
You can just edit that out then if you want.
No, we're showing you how the pudding gets made here, folks.
Yeah.
Stoy, put your pants back on.
Fine.
I was gone for a couple
Trying to
weeks,
get comfortable.
so over the next few episodes, there's going to be different beers from all over the place. I picked this one up at a gas station in Oklahoma. This
All right.
is the Sooners Schooner. It's the official craft beer of Oklahoma Athletics.
Okay.
There are the Sooners, right? The University of Oklahoma or something.
Yeah,
That's my
be-
limited college football knowledge.
Yeah, and it has something to do with like they had plots of land you weren't supposed to sit on, and then people did, so they were called Sooners, and then they stole land or something.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's 4.7%. It's just an all-American ale.
It was just beer flavored beer
It's
from
beer flavored. Beer.
south of the Mason-Dixon.
Smells eye bigger.
After buying this, we wound up driving on some back roads in Oklahoma, and it was the closest I've ever felt to
Also
the
tastes like
Texas
beer.
Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, I got stuck in a driveway at like 2 a.m. in Kentucky in the middle of nowhere in the woods, and you can just feel death surround you. It is
It is surprising how big the United States is and how much like empty land there is.
Oh, yeah.
And scary land.
And it only gets scarier the further south you go because they get real loose with their guns, especially at night.
And all of Oklahoma seemed either abandoned or nothing new happened there in the past 20 years, except every little town had like the Happy 420 weed dispensaries. You know, they all had like brand new dispensaries. It's like, guess we're bringing in business. So that's good.
Oklahoma was the most recent state to legalize it, right? Was that?
I'm not sure if they were the most recent.
At least expected, though.
Yeah, I'll say.
Yeah, but they're high as shit down there now. So
Hey, good for them.
Yeah.
Living life.
Tell you what, brother, this devil's lettuce ain't bad.
we passed through a small town that looked very dead, but the water tower said home of the Dill City Red Devils. And I'm like, I need a T-shirt that says the Dill City Red Devils.
I imagine they're famous for their pickles.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's the Dogcast today.
Yeah, so we got some news, some what we've been playing, and a little discussion on achievements and stuff at the end. But yeah, do we want to jump into the news right away then?
I'm excited to see what you got for this month.
I got some news. Okay. So
Are you starting with vagina yeast?
What?
I am not going to talk about Amaranth's beer.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
I brought Amaranth up once during a news segment, and it felt barely related to video games because she is a Twitch streamer, so like she travels in the same avenue. But yes, Amaranth is making a beer with her vaginal yeast.
It's beer news.
That's true. I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah.
I definitely should have put it in then.
No, we talked about it enough, I think.
Wait, is this real?
This is real.
This is real. Okay, all right.
Yeah, but it's not like they're like squeezing the
I don't think
juices
that's
out of there.
I don't
It's
think
just
that's the
yeast.
same though. It's not the. It's oh my god.
And there could be any sorts of yeast up there.
I know. That's why I'm like, this could be bad.
I've always I've worked for many breweries in my life, and I've always pitched a sour beer called the yeast infection.
Yeah,
And it's never stuck.
yeah.
I don't know if public school has just failed me on female anatomy, but how much yeast are women producing? Is she going to be able to produce like a barrel of beer?
If they're producing yeast, it's not a good thing.
No, they just need.
I know.
They need.
I know that much at
They
least.
need one tiny little strain of yeast, and then they can reproduce.
Yeah,
it.
you can literally reuse one tiny strand
And,
over
I mean,
and over and over.
She's
again.
not hovering over a bright
bear.
tank or something.
This is perfect South Park material right here. They need to like just capitalize on this.
Yeah,
I mean, in reality, she's got enough simps out there. She just needs to spit in a few cans. She'll make a killing.
That's the next beer.
and I think really the marketing is kind of genius because how many people bought that one girl's bathwater for like $40?
I totally didn't.
I didn't.
I didn't.
Segues are hard.
Yeah.
Diversion 3 Entertainment, the studio behind Friday the 13th and the Evil Dead games, announced that they are working on a new video game based off of a 2022 horror movie. Does anybody know what it is?
2022. It's gonna have to be sort of slasher based, I would guess.
What's that? Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Okay. All right.
Would it help if we did a Popcorn Dogs on it?
Was it Barbarian?
Yes. Barbarian is getting a video game.
Oh.
That's cool. Throw in a few different people in a house. There is one crazy mama who wants to feed you.
Exactly.
And then there's the scary guy's room. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's going to be like the, what's that, Hello Neighbor game, I'm assuming, mixed with Friday the 13th, where she just stalks you and then murders you.
I was wondering if they were doing so because aren't they shutting down Friday the 13th servers?
I didn't see anything on it, but I wouldn't be surprised because they have Evil Dead already and
Yeah.
the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So
Killer Clowns from Outer Space is coming or out already. I don't know. Asymmetric horror is like the new thing that I think isn't as hot as people think it is. It's
It is
cool though.
It is a lot of fun.
It
if you
seems like
play
a
with
niche
group.
crowd. Yeah, it's a
Texas-
very niche crowd.
Texas Chainsaw, I tried that one a month ago. It was the exact same thing as the Friday the 13th one.
Yeah.
They're fun if you got a group of friends that all want to play.
I want Jeepers Creepers, kind of more open world. You have different spots you can hide, but they can like fly around. That could be fun.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
You should make games.
Fuck that, man. That sounds really tough.
Hair of the Dogcast Studios.
I can barely play games in the morning sometimes.
We're going to stick in the horror movie lane for a second. Five Nights at Freddy's, the new Blumhouse horror thriller based off the video game of the same title, is apparently killing it, and I didn't see this coming.
I totally saw that.
I totally saw. I mean, just the popularity of Five Nights at Freddy's alone.
Really? You guys saw that coming?
I mean, the movie's not for us.
No.
But that franchise is fucking huge in
guess
children.
Oh, true.
And that's the weird thing because I have no concept of that. Like, I've always heard of Five Nights at Freddy's. I've seen all the merchandise, all the memorabilia, all the different spin-offs. I mean, there's a VR game, I think, that's still coming out.
That thing is fucking terrifying.
Is it?
I've
Okay.
played the VR version.
I believe it.
It started off as just like a mobile game, right? Where you just like change between cameras and try and catch things moving or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my understanding.
Yep. I think it took like the Among Us approach where it was a mobile game and then it got kind of big and then all of a sudden it's on Steam and then people are loving it. It's been around for a while.
There are real corpses inside of the animatronics, correct?
I believe so.
Yeah, I don't know. My boss said, yeah, I guess my daughter's having a bunch of friends over to watch that Freddy movie.
Well, I was confused because a lot of people at the bar were going to go see it. And one of our regulars came in and he's like, yeah, my wife is going over to her friend's house to watch that Freddy movie.
So is it in the theaters and on streaming, or
It
what?
simultaneously dropped on Peacock and in theaters.
Oh.
And still, in spite of that, made $78 million in its North American debut, which at first, for a horror movie, especially a video game IP horror movie, that's very good.
Yeah, I'll say.
But it makes it the second best opening weekend for a day and date streaming release for Universal Peacock after Black Widow, which was 80 million. So it's in the Black Widow.
That was a weird one.
Yeah.
Yeah, COVID times.
Yeah.
It's the best ever release for Universal and Peacock, beating both the two latest Halloween films, Kills and Ends.
Yeah.
Beat both of those. Those only made like 40 million. So it doubled the Halloween budget profits.
Only made 40 million in theaters. So we don't know what they got for subscriptions.
Is the movie PG? I imagine the movie's PG-13. I
think
I believe so.
It's only PG-13.
I mean, it makes sense.
Gateway horror. I think it's great. There should be appropriate gateway horror for these kids.
I'm pro gateway horror.
Because there's got to be something between Goosebumps and House of a Thousand Corpses in there. I mean,
I mean, I remember the movie Casper like scaring the hell out of me when I was a kid.
Well,
the Christina Ricci version.
The stinky ghost.
Yeah.
I don't want no part of that guy.
You know, right?
We watched Spooky Buddies. At
You know,
a Halloween
she died in the
night.
movie, for crying out loud. Like that was tough.
Don't look under the bed.
Or the dad
scared
died,
shit out of me.
Yeah.
That Disney movie about the boogeyman.
Yep.
I mean, it was my favorite Halloween movie to watch growing up.
Yeah.
But every single year I was like, here come the nightmares.
Yep.
Coming again.
Yeah. So Five Nights at Freddy's is the second biggest opening weekend for a video game adaptation, obviously behind the Mario Brothers movie.
That's a big one.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, 200 million or something like that.
That's one of the biggest grossing films of the year.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
But on a $20 million budget, absolutely killing it. Critics don't like it. Audiences love it. Rotten Tomatoes sucks.
Man.
Yeah.
Critics are less and less relevant. Let's talk about our opinions on video games.
Yes, those were the two horror movies that I wanted to get out on top.
I was just making a joke about us being critics.
Yeah. Right. We're professional. I have my license somewhere here.
Yeah.
On October 23rd, Bruce Naismith, a former employee of Bethesda, spoke to a gaming podcast, Minimax, about his history with Bethesda. And I don't know if I'm stepping on Chad Xbox's toes here.
No worries. There's a lot.
Okay. Apparently, Bruce said that Bethesda was getting a ton of shit for not saying anything about Elder Scrolls 6. And that Todd Phillips dropped the teaser at E3 in 2018 to quell a gamer mob. He came out and said, Todd Phillips did it to shut everybody up.
Oh, poor studios can't handle having people want games from them. Oh, poor studios.
This reminds me of like how irritated I was that BioWare dropped the trailer or teaser trailer for Mass Effect 5 or 4, whatever you want to call it. And then like there was still no news about Dragon Age 4. And it's like, why do they do that? Because now everybody wants Mass Effect more so than Dragon Age.
Yeah, like CD Projekt Red did that, the Wolf Medallion in the Snow for the Witcher 4 game. And it's like, Cyberpunk is not playable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about the next Witcher
I thought
game.
that was wild.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we forget, Elder Scrolls 6, that teaser trailer was 2018.
That was before we even saw a lick of Starfield.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I guess Bethesda also said Elder Scrolls 6 probably won't come out before, 2026?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, yeah, I mean...
Somebody even said 2030. I think they're just...
father by then.
Yeah.
Fuck.
The one takeaway from the article that I read that I thought was nice was Naismith was talking about Todd Phillips saying that gamers have a short mind or a short attention span or short memories, and that you only need to drop the trailer 6 months ahead of time, like they did with the Fallout 4, how it was like they drop the trailer and then you turn around, the game's out. Mm-hmm. And I do really appreciate that type of marketing, that once the game is ready, then you get our hopes up.
Nintendo does that.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I'll respect about Nintendo is that Nintendo doesn't show you and tell you anything until it's damn well near ready.
I can't stand getting teased for a game and it's like coming soon and you get like one little image and you know it's going to be like 5 years.
Yeah, like Silent Hill 2 remake. What the hell, man? It's been almost a year since that transmission last year and we've seen nothing about the remake.
Hollow Knight Silksong.
That's another one too.
And
oh my God, how long has that been?
They can say gamers have short attention spans. Every other day in the back of my mind, I'll just think of Hollow Knight Silksong and get overwhelmingly mad.
Yeah.
And then it's gone, but it's there. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I remember in the Discord, someone would say, "Oh, I can't wait to play Silksong next year in 2024." I was like,
it's supposed to come out this year.
I don't believe it.
They're running out of time.
They haven't said it won't. Now, I will wait.
I'm gonna wait. At this point, I've waited long enough. But.
I also agree they should take their time. They don't need to just release extra teaser images because they're afraid of gamers being mad. Oh, just say Elder Scrolls 6 is coming. They might get mad at us if we don't.
Yeah.
Come on, Bethesda, you're a fucking huge company.
Just going to say,
Just do whatever you want.
yeah.
Also, dropping a teaser trailer for one of the most anticipated games of all time, and then not saying anything about it for 5 years.
Ugh.
Also, almost an even worse move.
Yeah.
I'd consider that much worse.
Yeah.
But maybe short-term stockholders got a bump.
That's what I thought they said after they dropped that, because there was a lot of speculation, like, you're dropping a Starfield teaser trailer the same day as an Elder Scrolls 6 trailer, and I thought that was just to kind of satisfy shareholders and like people that want to invest in the company.
Yeah, and I wonder
like,
if now he's coming out and saying this, trying to like kind of divert attention away from, you know, like the video game industry has been going through a bunch of layoffs and stuff like that right now, and the CEOs and people at the top are catching a lot of heat. Maybe it's trying to skirt that a little bit.
yeah.
Look at us trolling a bunch of angry gamer mob people.
And then afterwards insulting them by saying then they have short attention spans.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm you know, I hate to include myself in that group, but I do fall victim to that. I mean, how passionate did I get about Silent Hill 2 remake just like 5 seconds ago?
You want to see it.
Yeah, I do.
I think about the Elder Scrolls 6 teaser at least once every 2 weeks.
To me, it's the Winds of Winter at this point.
Yeah.
If it ever comes out, that'll be a pleasant surprise.
I mean, yeah, it will at some point.
Shit, when they dropped the Elder Scrolls 6 trailer, I still had hopes of playing it on a PlayStation.
That was
time
before
that game-
even like any rumors of a acquisition. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
I won't even be... Well, I'm probably buying an Xbox in like the next week. So.
Elder Scrolls 6 will arrive on PlayStation a year after it's on Xbox.
Well, I will have an Xbox by then, so we will be good.
Well, it'll be the next gen Xbox when that comes out, I'm thinking.
Series Y?
Actually, it's going to be Xbox 362.
362. Yeah.
They're fucking out of names.
Diablo also did something that's kind of cool. On Diablo 4 announced on October 20th that for the next month, players can donate their actual blood in exchange for in-game items.
That's kind of fun.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, there's obviously a blood shortage.
It's better than buying Mountain Dew to get
To get
content.
a double XP.
That is true. The U.S. is seeing we don't have enough blood. I forgot the word that I was looking for.
Shortage?
Yes, that's it. We have a blood shortage.
We don't got enough blood here.
Yeah.
And Blizzard was like, I can fix that. We got this
Straight up
hella good
guy
game.
from Holes.
That's who I was thinking.
I can fix that.
I can fix that. Coinciding with Diablo 4's Season of Blood update, they're calling it the Blood Harvest. Until November 20th, players over the age of 18 and in the United States can log any blood center donations they make on the Blood Harvest website. The goal is to get 666 quarts of blood.
I get it.
Yeah, they can get more than
I
that.
think they-
I think
yeah,
they can get way more than that.
Oh, yeah, for
They
sure.
are 39% of the way there.
If they really want to make it, all they got to do is, hey, do you want an exclusive character skin?
Well, that's kind of what they're doing.
Yeah, if they just had something that would usually cost people $20 and you just have it locked behind blood donation, they'll get it quick.
They'll get it.
But then they wouldn't make the money.
At 33, 66, and 99%, they have different tiers of what's going to be available. 33% was like red weapon skins. I know there's a mount at, I think, 66%. They're currently at 39 as of last Tuesday.
Then the main character from Gen V is the final one.
Oh, man.
Which I took I watched the first episode.
Yeah, don't
of
even
that.
get me started on Gen
What
V.
the hell?
Yeah.
I'm like on episode 4 now.
Okay.
It's not as good as the boys, but it's almost there.
It's in the same...
It's a little,
ballpark.
it's almost 2CW for me.
That's exactly what I
I was
said
just going to
to
say,
my
this
buddy.
is very not my generation.
Yeah.
The goal is 666 quarts of blood. Anybody over 18 who lives in the United States can participate. People who live overseas or who are not 18 can still reap the rewards once the milestones are hit for the community. They are unlocked for the community. It is not exclusive to you donating blood. So that's kind of cool. Everybody gets in on the action there. Additionally, any adult in the U.S., regardless of donation status, will be able to enter Blood Harvest Grand Prize Sweepstakes, a liquid-cooled PC infused with real human blood. That's in quotes. I don't know if that's real or even legal. Can you sell a PC with human blood in it?
Depends on how it's incorporated into the box, probably.
I'm
Yeah, if
imagining
it's
it would,
a closed system, like just I'm just thinking the infection risks.
Well,
with
would they
that.
use it to cool? Because it's liquid cooled.
No, it wouldn't be like that. They'd probably just be baked into the plastic somehow or something.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
maybe like a drop of it and like hardened in some sort of thing.
Or like
whatever.
in some paint.
Yeah.
A lot of rappers are doing that right now with shoes.
Just putting there. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Like
yeah.
Lil Nas X did the blood Nikes or whatever. That was kind of cool. But there's all the specs here for it. It's got an i9 and a bunch of other stuff that makes no sense to me because I don't PC game. But if an RTX 4090 is good, it's got one of those.
If it's got a 4 in the front of it, I know that's really good.
Okay, so this is big boy status then.
Yeah.
It's got blood, a good graphics card, and an i9, which I know is good. Mm-hmm. My computer's an i5. I'm going to butcher this guy's name, but we're going to talk about the Unity guy next.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
John Riccitiello.
Richitello? Yeah, Richitello, yeah.
I'm going to call him
I know
Risotto.
He was like he ran EA for a while, right? Before he went to Unity.
He was the head of EA when it was named the worst company in America.
Yeah,
And then this
and
guy
now he
went
comes
over
over
to
to
Unity.
Unity and oof.
And somehow this guy is just fucking rolling in money, too. You know,
We're going to get into it.
He's filthy.
If I respected this man at all, I would try to pronounce his last name, but I'm going to call him Risotto. 'cause
Johnny Risotto.
That's
All right.
easier. Johnny Risotto has
Johnny
retired
Ravioli.
from the game Mr. Risotto has retired from the game development software company Unity
Oh, darn.
after a month of terrible publicity. The tech company that slowly became an in-game advertising firm announced a confusing and seemingly predatory new set of fees for game makers in September, only to walk back on their new policy after studios threatened to abandon the Unity engine completely. So he's gone. The new head is James M. Whitehurst, a former head of the IBM acquired open source software company Red Hat. Do you know who Red Hat is?
No.
I didn't recognize them.
Another rich schmuck that'll probably just be pushing corporate ideologies, but pretending they care about gamers.
Well, video games are a business. I mean, let's just throw it out there. I mean, I know it's a creative medium and a way of like artistic expression for a lot of people, but video games are made to make money. And unfortunately, video game companies like this are run by businessmen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Johnny Ravioli is a businessman. He is not a video gamer.
Rigatoni, though, did so bad that people are abandoning their platform.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are businessmen being businessmen. Then there are businessmen fucking up their company's reputation.
Yep.
And Ravioli is dunzo.
He's a particular thorn in my side because what I found out by reading about him is that he is essentially responsible, maybe, but oversaw the inclusion of loot boxes and card packs in FIFA, Madden, and like those microtransaction DLCs that were like Battlefield 1 Day 1 shit that you had to buy.
Yeah.
He's responsible for putting fucking gambling in my sports games and taking
Battlefront 2, was he ahead during that time too?
I didn't see.
Even
it
if
just
he
said
wasn't,
FIFA
he was
and Battlefield.
responsible for the proliferation
Well,
of
yeah.
those.
And it all traces back to him, I guess.
And if I'm sure EA doesn't care what people say about him because they made a shitload of money, and that's why Unity's like, get that asshole over here.
But he's fundamentally ruined sports games for the foreseeable future with the inclusion of MUT and Ultimate Teams. They're making so much money on these card packs and people gambling to try and get good players. The focus of these games is no longer improving the graphics or the physics of like tackling or kicking a soccer ball for this instance. And they're no longer focusing on franchise mode. Where
That's why I stopped buying FIFA games. I mean, I bought a FIFA game every year in the last like 3 years. I was like, wow, I'm just buying the same game over and over again.
Yep.
This isn't even fun.
I got 23, and that's all I'll need for the next 5 years.
I think one of the bigger problems, it's not just EA's fault, it's just these sports companies giving exclusive licensing to EA. If other people could make games with NFL properties or,
Well, 2K would do the same thing, though, because they got their VC and 2K NBA, and it's just the same shit. But they do focus a lot more on the franchise mode, and you're probably right. With more competition, they would have to improve other areas of the game.
Well, for soccer, I know Winning 11, or when it was called Winning 11, was actually, I thought, had better mechanics than FIFA. It was just they didn't have the licenses.
Yeah.
I think they had the Champions League license for years. And so they had Champions League teams, but then just like made up league teams,
I'd play as Watford.
Yeah.
I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah,
the big moose head. Yeah, I'm down with that.
Yeah, it was like Manchester City United or something like that, whatever. I was like, I'll play that, no problem.
We got Spleen Pool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, those. But yeah, I mean, better mechanics, better tactics overall. I thought even just like your teammate AI was better. So I was playing Winning 11, and then whatever it turned into lately. But I think the last one they made was like free to play.
Yeah.
Of course, naturally, Konami's like, you can just buy the teams now individually. Isn't that great?
That sounds real expensive.
We're giving you the option to spend more money.
Yeah.
Perhaps nothing sums up Risotto's time at EA and Unity better than another controversial incident last year. In an interview with PocketGamer.biz in July 2022, he called developers who don't think about monetization early in the process fucking idiots. That's a quote.
Woo!
Johnny
Ravioli, what the hell?
He immediately walked back the comment
That's
following week.
That's something you say at the bar to your friend.
Yeah, right. Not in an interview.
Yeah.
He called the article clickbait that took his comment out of context, but later apologized, saying he could have chosen his words more carefully.
Yeah. I don't know if you can take fucking idiots out of context.
I was going to say, I don't know what other kind of context there is.
That's an adjective and a noun. Like,
Yeah.
This guy can go fuck himself, but he will stay on payroll until April of 2024. And he is set up to earn $8.4 million through stock options over the next 6 months. That's in addition to the roughly $253 million he already holds in current Unity stock. So
He'll land on his feet somewhere else.
but the bad man is gone, probably replaced by an even worse man. Who knows?
we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah.
Hopefully the world gets better.
But it looks like the Unity thing is wrapping up.
No. From what I've seen, a lot of developers or people that still have the Unity engine, they're like, this is fine. Like, we're happy he's gone. This is not an answer, and it doesn't replace our trust in the company. Unity has a long way to walk back to get people okay. Because at this point, I would still, if I was a developer, like, well, I'm not going to fucking touch that for a while. Like, I can go work on a different engine that I know at least hasn't tried to fuck people over.
Well, and to be fair to Johnny Ravioli, like it wasn't like his sole decision. I think obviously he's the head of the company. He's the one that has to take a brunt of it. But I imagine there was a whole boardroom of people that literally made the decision that they made of like, charging developers more just to use their software.
Yeah, they were looking at a graph with a green spike just going up, and they're like, run it.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, sounds great.
Don't know what those numbers mean, but do it.
Red
what about
bag.
kids' mental health? And they throw the guy out the window.
But yeah, so I mean, for Unity, this is obviously a big blow to them. And with Unreal Engine 5, like, hey, come over here. We're so much easier to work with.
Yep. Oh, rigatoni.
Yep. Are there any other pastas that start with R?
I guarantee.
Probably.
There's ricotta cheese.
Ricotta,
was the first thing that
Johnny-
came up.
Yeah, Jimmy Ricotta.
Yeah.
Okay.
Risotto.
Risotto.
We did that
yeah.
one.
Ravioli.
Yeah,
we did.
risotto
Yeah.
was gone.
Rizzo from Greece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Johnny
Rizzo
Masta-
the rat from Muppets.
Johnny Mastacholi's out, though. So.
Yeah.
As international gaming industries face wave after wave of layoffs, CD Projekt Red former employees have formed a Polish union, which I thought this was pretty interesting.
Is that a union with sausage?
Pierogies.
Yeah.
They
We
created.
are allowed 10 pierogies a day.
Wait, pierogies are they Polish?
Yeah.
That's a Polish thing?
Yeah.
I had pierogies yesterday.
Very Polish of you.
Yeah.
The former workers at Cyberpunk or at CD Projekt Red have formed a new Poland-wide union aimed at protecting their rights. There's been a bunch of layoffs. Apparently, I know there's been a bunch in the United States, but apparently there's even more going on overseas currently. And with CD Projekt Red, so they've been working on. They put out Cyberpunk. We all know that was a shit show, and then they pulled everybody off of everything. It was all hands on deck for a full calendar year to get the game to a stable spot and to get Phantom Liberty out, which is now out and you can play it.
And it's amazing. Phantom Liberty is like...
I beat it last 2 minutes ago.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But in doing so, it pushed back CD Projekt Red's calendar. And now that Cyberpunk is, from what it sounds like, done, multiplayer has been abandoned, and they just did update 2.01 with really no future updates in sight. they are going back to work on The Witcher, and they said they were going to be laying off 9% of their staff, which is roughly 100 people.
Yeah.
So former employees banded together and formed a new Polish union. I've worked for a union before. I like what union did for me, so I'm happy for these guys getting together to try and protect their interests in an industry that is, I mean, we all know about crunch. So
We're very pro-union, I would say.
Yeah, I'm a government union employee, so
yeah, unions are great.
yeah.
The only thing I don't like about unions, union dues.
Yeah.
I need that money.
That's the way it works.
Yep.
Yeah.
SAG-AFTRA is fighting the good fight right now.
Yeah.
But I
as
think
long
that's-
as you need.
Isn't this becoming a growing trend of like a lot of developers like thinning their workforces overall? You know,
Yeah, especially in the quiet months where you're developing and you don't need like quality assurance people and testing people on the back end. It's just a smaller team plugging away.
yeah, and you always feel bad for those developers that punch out like there was that game Mortals of Avium.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever heard of that game, but it was a big EA game. You know, it was supposed to be this like brand new like AAA IP, and unfortunately they shut down that studio. It was Avalanche Studio. It was a different Avalanche Studio, but like they laid off like I think their entire staff because they were like, okay, game's done. See you later. Like, that sucks, but that's the nature of the business, I guess.
If I was a pizza delivery guy and there weren't pizzas to deliver, I would expect them not to need as many pizza delivery guys then.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the nature of the business where it's like, I feel for you, but them's the breaks.
Yeah. You can't quality test things that aren't there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a shit sandwich, but
But no, good on them. Like, you know, going back to the story, good on them for unionizing and making sure they're protected, making sure they're, you know, I imagine like CD Projekt Red offered them like benefits packages and stuff like that. So they got to make sure that they pony up.
Yeah, and this will only affect Polish developers. It will not affect CD Projekt Red Vancouver. They will not be able to join. It is a Polish-only thing.
That makes sense.
same reason that House of the Dragon can still film despite the SAG-AFTRA strike, because they are in a different union in Europe.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I don't know if this was in response to or trying to get out in front of, but CD Projekt Red did already announce that they will be making a Cyberpunk 2. That is on the horizon.
Oh, really? Okay.
Years away. It's still in the early conceptual phase currently.
They just put the title out.
It's called Project Orion. But
that's what Project Orion is. Okay, I had no idea what that was. Okay.
Yep. CD Projekt Red's follow-up to Cyberpunk 2077. It will be comprised of the veterans of the first game who got the game to a stable position and produced Phantom Liberty. Phantom Liberty is a massive, massive upgrade to the game on top of the base game. It's a totally different game now, and I really enjoyed my time with it. So
yeah, I am currently as well. I haven't played it in a couple weeks, but yeah, just amazing. Like jumping back in there and just like it's almost completely different game. You're right.
Yeah, the new skill tree was amazing. I really liked what they did there, and you can't just mod your guy out with cyberware. You have like a cap before you start to like burn out. That was awesome because I got a little OP in the vanilla because I just had all the cybernetic shit I could possibly get. Because at a certain point, money just doesn't mean anything. You make so much money in the game.
Yeah,
I can buy whatever I want. So we're getting another Witcher game, another Cyberpunk game, and CD Projekt Red, in wake of a new union, promises they won't crunch anymore.
And I promise I won't get too drunk again. Like,
It's going to happen.
What do we think is going to happen?
Yeah,
I
right.
promise I won't ever be hungover again.
I don't believe that last one for a second. I just think crunch is the nature of the business.
It's Team America World Police. Like, if you promise you would never die, I'd have sex with you right now. I promise.
will never die.
Before we get into the console stuff, because I do have quite a bit of PlayStation stuff, and I'm sure you got some stuff over there, Chad, Xbox.
Yep.
I did want to just point out that Dangerous Man Brewing is closed as of the 22nd. I know that you have...
I used to live like 4 blocks from there. Used to go there all the time. One of the best tap rooms I've ever been to. Some of the best beer I've ever had.
Yeah, well, we went to GDQ in Minneapolis this year. I'm glad I was able to go to the tap room and get that peanut butter porter. Good news is that it doesn't seem like Dangerous Man will disappear. They have moved production to a farm, it sounds like, and they are looking at distribution to keep the brand alive. But I did get a little bit more information on what happened. I work at a bar, and I had a customer come in with a Dangerous Man shirt, and I always compliment the Dangerous Man shirt. I'm like, I love it. Their peanut butter porter's great. He's the one who told me they were closing, so I had to look it up. They rented their space, and they were on lease until February of 2025. And some years ago, the landlord put the building up for sale, but we all know how the housing business market, whatever, it goes. The building was outside of their price range, and somebody else bought it. So that kind of put them in a little bit of a precarious financial position. And then COVID and post-COVID numbers just never got back up to snuff. And Rob Miller, the owner,
Great guy.
With Sarah Bonneville, I
haven't met her.
I can't read. They own it together. They said that they didn't want the brewery to die a slow death, and that there will be future plans, but as of now, they are taking it a step at a time.
Sounds like wise business move. I'm happy they're still making beer and distributing it.
Yeah, they've lived on a farm for like the last 6 years, a new facility in Maple Lake, where they do plan on getting their beer out. So we might actually get Dangerous Man in Wisconsin on liquor shelves eventually, which would be great.
I would love that. I actually, if you're done with the news you prepared, I have a few other things that I think we need to mention. Best Buy announced that they're going to stop selling physical media this year.
What?
And then it was clarified, just DVDs and Blu-rays, but they're backing off from physical movies. It sounds like they will have 4K still, and video games will still be sold physically, but this is one step, and eventually games are going to be, I'm sure, phased out of Best Buy as well.
Well, have you seen Best Buy's video game collection? It's a freaking mess.
It is a mess.
Like,
it's also one of the only reasons I go into Best Buy.
Yeah, same for me.
It is the only reason I go to Best Buy.
Yeah.
They have the most obscene collection, though, of large collector's edition that will never move.
Yes.
If you're looking for the $150 version of a game you've never heard of, they got it.
Yeah.
So what was that game? Homeland. You know that one game where like North Korea invades America or something like that. You know?
Yeah. What is that?
Then they had the collector's edition with a remote control car or something like that. I remember that being there for years.
Yeah.
Years. It was just sitting there, and I'm like, I feel bad for this thing. I should just buy it one day.
Was it Homefront?
Homefront. That was it. Yeah.
Someone put this game out of its misery.
Yeah, because it was a game that had a development cycle from hell, because it was like bought up from like 3 different like developing houses, and I think Crytek eventually like ended up buying the license to it. It was just a whole thing. Anyway, but yeah, I remember that sitting there for years.
Batman Arkham Knight received some surprise DLC, which was then promptly removed.
Really?
Really?
You heard about the DLC.
I've heard about the
I didn't hear about the
suit.
DLC.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arkham Knight, a very old game, was surprise DLC just showed up of Robert Pattinson's Batsuit.
Really?
Coming to
Yeah.
the game. On the Steam store or the Epic store, it was removed immediately.
I know what happened.
Rocksteady accidentally uploaded it early, and the idea is that it's supposed to be coming out alongside the Switch release of
That's
the
what I
Arkham
kind of
trilogy.
figured. Yeah.
No, they meant to send it to Fortnite. It was supposed to be a Fortnite.
It was
thing. They were
Robert
like, wrong
Pattinson's
skin.
Batman is going
Oops.
to be in
Yeah.
Fortnite. Yeah, but I think that's very cool that they're still putting new Batman DLC in there.
Have
Yeah,
you
that's-
been on the Batman Arkham subreddit?
I see it sometimes pop up on the feeds. Yeah,
Take a visit into that subreddit.
Is
It's
scary, dark, horny.
it's a little bit of everything.
Okay.
It's because there's like it's weird because I don't know how I found out about it, but it's like so much shit posting that they had to write new community guidelines on like how to properly shit post in the subreddit.
This is not appropriate shit posting.
Yeah, like you can like make a serious post, but you can't shit post comments. But you can make a shit post, but like make shit post comments. But like it's like weird. It's just go in there. Go in there.
It's still
I am currently
active.
in there.
Okay,
and-
all right. But like it's just
And I'm sure that
Oh my
Reddit
God.
will become a little more active once Suicide Squad finally arrives as well, since it is in the same universe.
There's a lot of shit posts.
oh yeah. Like it's just it's so crazy because it's like the amount of like Joker memes and like the oh my God.
They currently have a vote going on. I heard the mods were gay. Which one do you want to have hot gay sex with all of their names listed and a poll going currently?
That is a shit post.
Yes.
They are
Capital S.
they're good at it.
I do want to incorporate a new mini thing on the Dogcast, and it's just like release radar, what releases came out this month. And this is where the non-exclusives will be, because we'll talk about Spider-Man in the PlayStation, we'll talk about Mario in the Nintendo, but Assassin's Creed Mirage came out. Did anyone play that at all?
I forgot it existed.
I've heard mixed things, Stoy. How do you feel about Assassin's Creed Mirage?
It's a solidly like smaller game, because that was the intention, that they wanted to go back to the original game, where like the game is exclusively set in Baghdad. You're not like hopping around in like a 40 square mile area. So I love the atmosphere. I love the architecture. Just the characters in the game. It's just they're so bland. They're so bland. There's like nothing to them. Like it's just like it's hard for me to like really connect with anybody in the game, because it's like just the writing, I think, just kind of went downhill.
And I've heard the combat it's very
Bad.
far. I'm
Bad.
Well, it just seems like steps back. Like if you go back to Assassin's Creed 1, that game does not play as good as a game would today.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard like if you get caught and you get surrounded by a couple of guards, it's almost impossible.
Yeah, and they explain it in the lore by saying, hey, you're a new assassin, so if you get surrounded by 3 guys, you're not equipped to handle 3 guys. You're not an expert. And it's like, okay, all right, I get it, but everybody automatically blocks. So the only way to really fight enemies is to either parry or parry. That's it. So it's like Sekiro.
I want it to be somewhere between I am a useless garbage assassin and I am the god Cassandra who will kill 100 people at the same time.
That's why Origins was my favorite one, because it really it changed the combat formula, but made it to be like where it's like, yeah, you were still a novice, but you were still a badass novice.
That was a good
You're
one.
also telling a group of players that have been playing these games for decades now that you're novice. The majority of fans who are still playing Assassin's Creed are fans that have played all the Assassin's Creeds.
They're for power fantasies.
Yes.
Which
that's
is for
what
me.
it's developed
yeah.
to.
Yeah, I mean, you play a video game, you play as a hero to feel that kind of like badass. And like, yeah, I understand sometimes, RPGs where it's like, yeah, you're starting out and then you're learning new abilities and, you're going through your skill tree and developing your character and stuff like that. But, even though you're still doing all that, you're still weak. Like, I'm like, I want to say like 12, 13 hours in, and I'm like, still like, if I see a big guy with a big hammer, it's like, oh, no. I'm not going to be able to hit this guy.
I am excited to play that game.
When it gets down to it's good.
When it gets down to $10, and I have beaten Ragnarok and whatever other assassin. I think Ragnarok's the only one that I haven't beaten, but so that's out.
Are you talking the Ragnarok DLC?
Well, I haven't
Valhalla.
Valhalla, yeah. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1 has been released, and another title that I have heard a lot of negative things on. Mostly, I think the biggest complaint, though, is they didn't do quality of life improvements, and it's bare bones.
That's okay.
But that is what it is. The games.
That's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay. Like I just beat Metal Gear Solid 1 just 2 nights ago.
Oh, cool.
And like they literally did nothing to it.
My gripe though is put Twin Snakes on there. That GameCube version of it is way better.
Is the bee's knees.
Yeah.
But they did like if you remember playing Metal Gear Solid on the original PlayStation. That's exactly how you remember it. They literally touched nothing.
Did they put VR missions in there?
Yes, they did.
The actual game VR missions?
The actual game VR missions, yeah.
I was hot on that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Did we play those on one of your demo discs once?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's literally, if you have nostalgia for that game, it's literally exactly how you remember it. And for me, I was fine with it. Like, yeah, granted, maybe I was expecting them to maybe clean up the graphics a little bit, but still great.
Alan Wake 2, that came out a couple days ago as of recording.
Unfortunately, so did Spider-Man, so I have to wait to play this.
Yeah, I don't know when I'm going to get to Alan Wake.
I want to play Alan Wake 2 so bad.
I've heard good things about Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Spider-Man 2.
From what I've heard, it sounds like Control had a lot of impact on this game, and Control was fantastic.
Control is amazing, yeah.
Now, a video game came out this year, which supposedly is dethroning the Gollum game as the worst game of the year.
I had this in here, but I didn't know how to properly convey how terrible this game is. Because we don't have a visual medium. You have to see it.
Skull Island Rise of Kong was released. I'll just read a section of the PC Gamer review, just a bit. Skull Island isn't just a contender for the worst game of 2023. It may genuinely be the worst video game I have ever played.
Wow.
An official review from PC Gamer. I watched some of it, I guess, and then the developers have came out and said, we were given 1 year to make this game. Extreme, rigid timelines. It's how it works when you get these, licensed games. They need it now. It's not a property related to the films that are coming out with the Kong and all of that. This is a base on a comic book series of Skull Island that I guess Disney Plus is making an animated version of or some shit. But it's supposed to be the worst game of the year. I watched some of it. It looks fucking horrible, and I want to play it.
Yeah, you almost feel like you need to now.
$40 release.
Oof.
We'll wait for Game Pass on that one, hey?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. I'll wait till $3 bargain bin. and then it'll be the time. We should always just play one of the worst video games ever.
Did they fix Gollum? I know they it was you're used to now seeing that Twitter graphic, that it's hey, we're really sorry about the state of our game. We are working diligently to fix it.
I think.
Did they fix Gollum yet?
I think what it would be is there were no wheels on the car, and they put 4 flat tires on, so it can technically move.
Yeah,
you can push it.
Yeah, it actually will roll, but it's.
I
not
woudyouldn't
good.
start it up, but you can push it.
I want to play.
It's
Gollum
playable.
Too.
I wouldn't play it, but it's playable.
I love bad video games.
Yeah.
Dylan was very upset that I beat all of Dragon Ball Kakarot, and I'm like, I don't.
It scratches that itch.
You see Krillin? I'm here.
I had a soft spot for Mass Effect Andromeda for a long time.
I waited
Still
till that
do.
game was patched up hard and cleaned, and then it was bad, but still playable, and I had a lot of things I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Yep. But that's all of the multi-platform releases I wanted to talk about. We're going to take a quick break to hear from another amazing show from the Tokyo Beat Podcast Network, and we'll be right back to discuss consoles.
And we're back with another great episode of...
Hold your horses, mister. This is a commercial for our show, Nasty Labs, not the actual show.
You mean to tell me this is a commercial for our bi-weekly show from game studio Chuhai Labs where we talk about games, game dev, Japan, and whatever else comes up?
Yep, and it stars me, Kinsey Burke. And also it has my junior co-host, Mark Lentz.
Sup, though?
So catch brand new episodes twice monthly for only 3 easy payments of $420.69.
That doesn't make sense.
Nasty Labs! Only on the Tokyo Beat Network.
Today's show was brought to you by EPOS Gaming Audio. With a comprehensive lineup of both wired and wireless headsets, gaming amplifiers, microphones, and webcams, EPOS has everything you need to experience the power of audio. Like their H6 Pro lineup, which features 2 versions, an open or closed headset. The closed headset allows you to tap into exceptionally detailed audio and seals out ambient noise, while the open version delivers natural high-fidelity audio with an incredible soundstage. Both headsets include a magnetic detachable microphone and a sleek design that has no wild RGB configurations, just good design. Listeners can save 15% by visiting www.eposaudio.com/gaming and entering code EPOSFRIEND15 at checkout. That is EPOSFRIEND15 at checkout. Hey everybody, Tyler said we couldn't start back up because he had to do fantasy football shit, and I decided I do not care.
David Montgomery's out. Hold on.
Ooh, he was the star of Stranger Things, right?
That was Joe Keery.
No, that was David Harbour.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Honestly, they all are. Yes. So while Tyler is doing that, we're going to jump into console critters here. Now, I have a feeling both our Ninfrendo and Mr. Spartacus for the PlayStation will be able to segue a little bit into what we've been playing. Chat Xbox, not so much. So I'm going to jump into Xbox, the Xbox world. Now, Xbox, everyone knows, is the greatest console series of all time. That's a lot of people say in Microsoft.
I agree with you.
So we'll start off with Game Pass. Added in the month of October, Gotham Knights.
I like Gotham Knights. I liked Gotham Knights. I'm confessing right now. I liked Gotham Knights.
You're hardcore Batman.
Yeah, I know. So that's why I loved it.
It's okay to be biased. I think you might be biased.
They're probably 100% biased on that one, yeah. I mean, could it have been better in some aspects? Yes, it could have been better. But
I'm excited to play it now that it's on Game Pass.
yeah, you'll have fun. Upgrading your suit every 5 seconds.
Lamplighters League also came out. That's RTS in the style of like a XCOM, and the game is supposed to be released extremely buggy and horrible, and I guess that they're working on it. Forza Motorsports 2023, Like a Dragon Ishin is available. That's the one that's set in medieval times. Looks cool.
Yeah.
F1 Manager 2023, Cities Skylines 2, which I guess is having some performance issues.
Yeah, that's kind of sucks. But I am excited as hell to play Cities and Skyline 2.
And it'll be cleaned up, I'm sure. Dead Space 2023 is now available on Game Pass.
That was an amazing drop.
We've been eating good lately.
Yeah, we have.
Very good this month.
If you're a Game Pass fan, oh man.
And it's not available as of recording, but on Halloween Day, Headbangers Rhythm Royale, a party game that's all rhythm based, comes out. Fucking pumped to play that. And Jusant, which I don't know what that means. Coming.
Yeah, I saw trailers for that, and I still don't know what it's about.
Coming in November, Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name, the new Kazuma Kiryu Yakuza. Persona 5 Tactics, because Persona 5 is its own fucking franchise now.
Well, isn't Persona 5 leaving Game Pass?
Persona 5 is, but Persona 5 Tactics is coming.
Not, yeah, that's right, yeah.
And Stalker 2, The Heart of Chernobyl.
It's about time. I mean, admittedly, they've had troubles with development because they're obviously based out of Ukraine, so I'm glad to see that they're still working hard at it.
That's the Game Pass stuff. We have a new beer here. This is from Albuquerque, New Mexico, from Marble Brewing. This is a cerveza, a Mexican-style lager. One of my favorite styles of beer.
Also, Chuco Salamanca's favorite. It's not in the show. I just made it up.
I was at all of the Breaking Bad locations while I was in Albuquerque, and outside of Jesse and Jane's house, the homeowner was going to work and looked very upset that I was looking at his house.
I mean, he has to be used to it by now.
The Walter White household had a huge fence that said, "Take pictures from across the street and leave us alone, please."
Yeah.
That sucks for those people.
Yeah.
But they could also just put a little Venmo sign out there that says, if you take a pictures, please make a donation to our house or to our family.
Or a charity or
something. If they put a Venmo thing out there, they'd make money.
Oh, yeah.
But Walter White's car wash was very cool. And going to...
Do they tell you to have an A1 day?
No. I went in to try and buy an air freshener. I wanted to get an air freshener from Bogdan. There was no air fresheners in the whole place. I was kind of upset.
No eyebrows either.
I got a Better Call Saul mug from a vending machine, which is fine. And then, cool. I went to like Best Quality Vacuum, Los Pollos Hermanos, and Tuco Salamanca's hideout is actually a coffee shop called Java Joe's, which is pretty cool.
Isn't Saul Goodman's office a barbecue place now?
Sure is.
Yeah.
They weren't open in the morning, but but this is from Marble Brewing, just a nice Mexican lager.
It really is.
In the news, Xbox back taxes. On the morning of October 12th, Microsoft confirmed that the IRS was requesting $28.9 billion in back taxes.
We've all been there. That's
yeah.
I mean, I've gotten letters.
A nickel every time.
I've got letters from the IRS like, hey, you owe us a little bit more. It's never been $28.9 billion.
Yeah, it's normally like $17.49 or like $8.
There was one day I got two letters. One's like, you owe an extra $900. And I opened the other letters like, we overcalculated. You owe us $850 less dollars. I'm like, that was a roller coaster right there. Oh, my God. Yes, they are requesting $28.9 billion in back taxes relating to the period between 2004 and 2013. The crux of it all is the way Microsoft allocated profits during this time period amongst countries and jurisdictions. Microsoft is appealing. They say, we don't agree. And this will be a very long, drawn-out court battle.
Man, the IRS really plays the long game, don't they?
Yeah, so we were looking at stuff from over 20 years ago, and we just need more money.
We noticed a couple things.
We'll see what happens there. Friday, October 13th, Friday the 13th, Activision Blizzard is now officially part of Xbox. The deal's fucking done.
Is it finally over?
It's over.
Welcome to the family, son.
Activision CEO Bobby Kotick, we're going to call him Bobby Spaghetti.
Bobby Spaghetti.
Set to leave early 2024. Microsoft now owns, amongst many other franchises, these are a lot of the big ones, Call of Duty, Crash Bandicoot, Diablo, Guitar Hero, Hearthstone, Overwatch, Skylanders, Spyro, StarCraft, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Warcraft, Candy Crush, and a lot of other ones. They have a lot of franchise they can fuck around with.
Guitar Hero. Please.
And I imagine they have a lot of like Activision has like a lot of like historical franchises that they could, maybe bring back. I don't know what they are off the top of my head, but
Lost Vikings.
Don't they own Splinter Cell?
no, that's Ubisoft.
Fuck.
Remember, I think there was a period where Ubisoft is like, hey, if anybody wants to buy us, we're available, and everyone's like, nah.
Go outside, nerd.
Nobody wants you on your dodgeball
Nobody wants
team.
Rayman and Rabbids.
I've only ever heard of one friend of mine saying, "Oh, I love Rayman,"
Ooh,
and somebody I trust. But Halo Infinite Season 5 is bringing Halo 3 Refueled. Now, no one actually plays Halo 5 online. I'm sure there's a couple, but it's not doing well. Halo 3 Refueled will be a nostalgia-powered playlist featuring 8 Halo 3 maps, including a bunch of ones that are already fucking there. It's not like new maps. But there's one new map, a Mountain Dew-themed map called Critical Dew Point. They're getting their own Mountain Dew map in Halo. And Game Fuel is returning, actually, at the same time.
That's
is it?
good
Is
news.
it really?
Yeah,
That's
Game
good
Fuel-
news.
Oh yes.
Game Fuel is returning.
Oh my god,
Now-
it makes me so happy.
Yes, as long as they have an alcoholic variant of the Mountain Dew Game Fuel.
I think those are illegal.
It's called a Four Loko.
Yeah.
Hey, same idea.
But there's hard Mountain Dew.
Yeah. I've seen that.
But hard game
You can't buy
fuel.
it here in Wisconsin, though. I think.
No, I think you can now.
You can?
I don't
Okay,
know.
all right.
I've seen people drinking it here.
I saw it at Chill at the Hill.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We did
I
have
s-
some in Minneapolis.
All right.
Starfield breaks Game Pass subscription records with the most new subs in a single day on its launch day.
Yep.
Also, they canceled trials that day, or just before then. And my last bit of news here: remapping. In the October update, Xbox added the ability to map keyboard buttons to Xbox controllers. You're playing City Skylines on your Xbox, you can now map a keyboard that can remap buttons from a controller, so you can add keyboard functionality to games that essentially didn't have it. And I think that is a cool thing. Although, if I was a hardcore FPS player, the fact that people could probably be just using mouses and keyboards and maybe having an edge, I don't care. I don't play competitively anything. But
I mean, that would make more sense if you played Overwatch and someone's coming at you with a mouse and keyboard who has they have a tactical advantage.
yeah,
But
But
whatever.
yeah, Xbox, they own Activision now, and the moment that door shut, the IRS kicked it back open and said, "We want $28.9 billion.
We know
Yeah.
you got it.
yeah, we know you got it.
We need your money, Lebowski."
Did you see the Xbox showcase that they put out this week?
No.
They did like a little partner showcase this week. They showcased a couple trailers, but the biggest thing that they showed was they showed gameplay of Metal Gear Solid 3 remake.
Yeah, and it actually looked like gameplay.
Yes,
Like, just for a
legitimate
little bit,
gameplay.
though.
I'm
Yeah,
scared.
using Unreal Engine 5.
It looks pretty.
I'm
it-
scared.
Yeah, it looks good. I mean,
Kojima is Bay, and nobody messes with my Bay.
I'm just happy to play Snake Eater again, and I'm fine with it.
I've heard
Yeah.
that the Metal Gear collection, there's some behind the scenes materials, and they almost never use Kojima by name. They just talk around it. They don't want to acknowledge that he was a
I
person.
really
that
want to
created
know what the hell happened between those two.
it. He was
Something must have seriously bad.
he was probably one of the only people that stood up and said, "No, I don't agree with you." And they're like, "Well, fuck you. You can die.
Yeah.
You can't even go to the Game Awards anymore,
Nope.
dickheads."
Wow.
He wants to make a baby game or something like that. No,
Yeah,
we're not into that. We
Sky-
want to make a zombie game.
I guess
Yeah.
you throw your piss at
We want to
people.
use the Metal Gear Solid universe for some part of it.
Troy Baker wants pizza. I don't know what's going on in this game, but that's what we got for Chat Xbox. Let's kick it over to our guest Ninfrendo, Stoy.
So, Ninfrendo, is that the segment name?
Yeah, it's either that or Switch Bitch.
All right, cool.
Didn't we have Nintendo Slut or something like that for a minute?
That might have been one of some of our other guests. Yeah,
I like Ninfrendo better.
I don't blame you.
So the first trailer was released for Pokesume. It's pocket-filled adventure, and it's a Pokemon television series. Is that what this is?
live action
I am
Pokemon
not-
television series.
Live action.
It's not what you think.
Okay,
Is Ryan
all right.
Reynolds going to play Pikachu again?
No, he's actually playing Doduo.
Okay.
He's doing multiple voices for him.
That'd be great.
So where is this? I mean, is this just like its own channel or something like that, or its own app?
I don't know what it's going to be on. It's only in Japan now, but
Okay.
it's not actually about Pokemon.
Okay, all right.
It's
well,
Yeah.
The story features Madoka Akagi, a young girl who moves to Tokyo and became overwhelmed with work and life. Like we all do. She receives a Game Boy, an original Pokemon Red, and it changes her life. The show did premiere a couple weeks ago on October 17th.
Yeah, so apparently she has this new job with a lot of stress, and I think like her grandpa sends her a Game Boy because that's how old we are.
Yeah.
And she just finds comfort in playing Pokemon Red. And I don't know how they have an entire fucking series about how someone is warmed by playing a Game Boy game. I'm sure they'll make a shitload of money though.
I know
say
that feeling though, and if you can put that in a bottle and make a show out of it, I'd watch the fuck out of it.
Yeah, it sounds kind of like an interesting concept, more like less to do with Pokemon, but more with maybe just, the story of Madoka or something. Maybe that's how they're trying to frame it.
Yeah. From the trailer I saw, there was a lot of over-the-shoulder pictures of like the Game Boy screen and her like showing her Growlithe to somebody else playing a Switch on the train. And they're like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
This is a Megamax Gengar 12. Fuck your little Growlithe. But
yeah, it's interesting. I guess I'd be curious to. I mean, I'm not a Pokemon fan at all, but it's kind of an interesting concept. But so Super Mario 64. If you guys haven't heard this game before, it's one of the biggest Super Mario games of all time.
It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal. The first 3D Mario game. It's one of the most played speedrun games of all time, and it's reached a holy grail. A new route, depending on who you are, has been discovered that allows you to do carpetless on Rainbow Ride. I'm trying to imagine this in my head.
You know the level where you have to sit on a carpet and it just goes a long time?
Yep.
For until very recently, you were stuck riding that carpet the whole way, and it was a huge time sink.
Yeah.
I guess someone found a way to skip it. So speedrunners are just crazy people.
You're talking about the slide.
No, the carpet.
Yeah, you're going up.
Not like the stairs.
Oh,
like a
Yeah.
magic carpet ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now what this has done to the speedrun time is brought the 120 star runs down from 1 hour and 37 minutes to 1 hour and 36 minutes.
It dropped about a minute off its time.
Yeah. So like 1 hour, 37 and 35 seconds down to 136, 48 seconds. So yeah, just about almost a minute.
That's a big drop.
Significant.
Which,
Yeah.
if you would have asked me in like last spring what I thought about that, I'd be like, cool, a minute. But after going to GDQ and seeing how razor thin the margins are for some of these speed runs, that's huge.
Yeah.
It is huge. And it's a very difficult trick, I guess. But now anyone who's playing that doesn't do the trick in that Mario 64 is just obsolete. So it's like a gauntlet being thrown down, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Man, like who finds this stuff? I'm just always so curious about these people that just like literally sit down for hours a day and just find.
It's streamers that get paid 10 hours a day to sit there and play Mario 64 50 hours a week.
Yeah. Man. I couldn't imagine playing a game like all that. Because, that's the problem with a lot of streamers that I've always heard. It's like they'll create an identity online and then they'll be like, okay, I'm just going to play Super Mario 64. And then now their followers follow them based on just that alone. So they're throwing them money. Like, keep playing Super Mario 64. And it's like, I can't imagine where that person's like, man, this is my personal hell right now.
Yeah, you got to hope you like pigeonhole yourself in one really fun game.
Yeah.
That way you at least enjoy it. Like Minecraft, opportunities are endless. It'll get old eventually, but
And I guess related in Nintendo speedrunning news, at Games Done Quick, a dog is going to be doing a speedrun.
get the fuck out of here.
And it's going to be it's Gyromite.
Gyromite.
One of the Rob the Robot and Nintendo games.
Okay.
Yep. So the dog essentially, there's just going to be the owner saying like red button, these commands to hit like 2 different buttons, and the dog will be able to do a speedrun game live for the convention.
All right.
That is gnarly.
Yeah, I want to
cool.
see that. I
Yeah.
want to see that.
I think the dog's name's like Buttercup, maybe.
Do we have any idea what type of dog this is?
It's a Shiba Inu, I believe.
Sounds like a smart dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. On October 27th, Nintendo added Mario Party 3 to the Nintendo 64 library. So that Nintendo 64 library is growing if you want to switch.
I'm thinking about getting it, but how much is it a month?
I pay yearly.
Yeah, it's
And it's like 54. Oh, because I get the expansion pass because I think Nintendo 64 and Sega Genesis are on the expansion pass, I think.
And Game Boy Advance. I don't know if that's
was it,
limited to expansion pass. That might be, but it might not. And DS. That's DS on there?
No, I don't think DS is on there yet. I haven't checked in a couple months actually.
Yeah, but it's got 64 and Genesis for sure, plus all the Mario Kart
Yeah, the waves and stuff like that. Yeah,
Ooh,
so
yeah, that'd be worth
so
it.
I pay like $54 a year. I just knock it out in one
good
yearly
move.
cost.
I don't know if
yeah.
I get enough use out of it, but those libraries are really fun to have on the Switch.
Yeah, especially if you don't want to. I mean, I collect, so I don't want to look at my shelf and kind of see what I have. It's like I'll fire up my Switch and I'm like, I feel like playing something retro, and then you just look through the collection and
Yeah.
most likely it's there.
Mario Party 3, though, pretty cool.
Yeah. So some would say it is one of the Mario parties.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know which one's the better one. I know there's probably a tier list somewhere of like what the best Mario parties are, but I have no idea.
I'm sure nerds have argued online about this
Yep.
for eons.
There's probably some AI president tier list video on YouTube ranking it. Have you ever seen those?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The Legend of Zelda ones are always really funny. Super Mario Brothers Wonder. It's apparently the fastest Super Mario game ever in Europe, and it is crushing it in sales and reviews.
All of my friends are getting really high and playing this game and telling me how fun it is.
Yeah.
Mario Wonder, I'm excited to play it. I know it's not going to get cheaper the longer I wait. I know it's going to be brilliant no matter when I play it. So I'm thinking a couple months I'm going to borrow it from Dylan. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Breath of the Wild is still like $60. So Nintendo doesn't discount any of their games.
It was on
Any of their
sale for
first-party
$56 one day and people went crazy. Yeah.
Walmart sometimes they'll discount it, but yeah, I mean, crushing sales. I hear just like Nintendo's like level design with it has just been like amazing. Like every level is like something different, something new, something unique.
I've heard it's the best 2D Mario since Mario World, I've heard people say.
That's pretty bold.
That is very bold.
That's very bold.
New Super Mario Brothers, I've always thought were very competent and fine, but they didn't scratch that special itch. Maybe completely because of the stupid name.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest fucking name.
Well, and especially since like they ported it over they had it on the Wii, then they ported it over to the Wii U, then the Nintendo Switch had its own version with extra levels, and then there was Super Luigi Wii or something like that, whatever. It's like, ugh.
And now when Mario Maker 3 comes, there will be Wonder as well.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but so probably one of the must-haves to have for the Switch.
Oh yes, I would say so.
Yeah. So I haven't picked it up yet, but just because I've been playing like so many other things and just can't. Metal Gear Solid has been taking up a lot of my time, which is unfortunate because we were talking about Spider-Man 2, which it's kind of a segue maybe, but
I've heard Mario Wonder did not beat Spider-Man 2 sales.
nope. Because I think Spider-Man 2 became, I mean, I may be jumping ahead in the PlayStation news, but I think that's become the biggest PS5 exclusive.
We can talk about it if you want.
Yeah,
There's a segue.
that's a segue.
Spartacus here. And PlayStation fans are rejoicing because, yes, Spider-Man,
They're in
2,
the streets just partying.
They are. They're like
kissing each other.
it's like if when
Trying to climb walls.
Philly won the Super Bowl and they were like turning over cars and the police here have had to grease up the light poles so people can't climb them, and
50 injured, 3 dead.
yes,
Yeah, basketball, yeah.
Yep.
that's
The
impressive.
Dallas Falcons winning the Denzel Cup again.
The Denslow Cup.
Sony just came out and said Spider-Man 2 is the fastest selling PlayStation Studios game in the company's history. The PS5
That's
exclusive
amazing.
sold 2.5 million copies on launch day alone, and they chose, if you remember, not to release this on the PlayStation 4, which has some 40 million fucking units or something out there.
At some point, you got to admit you're on the next generation of gaming.
Yeah,
that's
I mean, it's been long enough.
Yeah.
It's been long enough.
Released on October 20th. It is the first major first-party blockbuster to launch only on the PlayStation 5 rather than cross-gen, which has over double the install base with just over 40 million. So yeah, I was right. Yeah, that's crazy. 2.5 million in one day.
Yeah.
Kind of a big deal.
So I bought this at GameStop, right? And like the physical copy, and the guy was reaching down under the counter and he was going to get me a bag. I was like, man, I don't need a bag. I'm good. And then he pulls it out and it's a Spider-Man bag.
And you're
And I was like, no, I want a bag.
I need the bag.
I need the bag. Give me 2 of the bags. The guy was like, I kind of figured you didn't want a bag. I was like, all right.
I have not played it. I am buying it today.
Ooh.
Because I am beating Cyberpunk finally. We'll get into that later on what we've been playing, but I'm buying it today, so I will be excited to actually boot it up. It is currently got a 91 on Metacritic. There's been a little bit of criticism about bloat in the game, but there was bloat in the first one, and I enjoyed that bloat.
I mean, at some point, it just comes down to self-control. Like, if a lot of it's just extra stuff you can do if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, just don't do it.
The only bloated part about it, and I suppose I could talk more about it when we talk about games we're playing, but it's just the fact that you have like 3 skill trees, massive skill trees. You have to, you have a skill tree for Miles.
Okay.
No, you have a skill tree for Miles. You have a skill tree for Peter, and then you have a skill tree for both. And it's like, man, where do you divide your points up? It's
it makes
daunting.
sense. It makes sense though.
Yeah, but like the skill tree for both, like like combined, is like more so like, okay, when you're web slinging, you can kind of do a right angle turn or something like that. So that's a skill, or that applies to both. Not like necessarily like, obviously Peter has his own spoilers if you're not a Spider-Man fan. Peter Parker is Spider-Man. But
What?
Oh shit! Did I do it again?
That little nerd from the Daily Bugle?
Yeah, that guy, that same guy. Can you believe it?
The one who has all the photos of Spider-Man.
He's friends with him though. He couldn't be him. He's friends with the guy.
I've seen him in the...
You telling me you had no idea?
Pictures by Peter Parker. How he took the picture? How can he be in the picture?
He's on top of the Eiffel Tower. How could he have taken that picture?
He seemed like a nice guy.
But yeah, so like you have skill trees for both, that are just like abilities, like web swinging and other stuff like that. But like obviously Peter Parker has like a special suit abilities, and then Miles Morales has special suit abilities too as well.
Is it Grand Theft Auto 5? Is it switch seamlessly between them at different points, but you're locked in for certain missions?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it is very much like that. I caught that right away because I was like, there's obviously story beats where it's like, hey, I'm gonna go kind of do my own thing, and then the main story will switch over to them. You can switch on the fly, and like maybe some side missions open up that are exclusively to Peter and exclusively to Miles. But
yeah, because Miles wouldn't go on a date with MJ.
No,
that would be awkward.
That'd be weird.
Yeah.
But it is weird, like when you're playing as different characters and like the screenshot that pops up of like their face and like the different faces depending on if you're playing as Peter or playing as Miles.
Yeah,
it's weird.
I know that I will play this game. I know that I will love this game.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's a very comforting feeling knowing that there is a 10 out of 10 waiting for me at some point.
Yeah, it's a slow, fat one right down the middle.
Mm-hmm. Can't wait.
The original Spider-Man released in 2018, selling 3.3 million units in 3 days. That narrowly edged out God of War's record at the time, 3.1 million. Ragnarok, as we all know, reclaimed the title of fastest-selling PlayStation Studios game last year with 5.1 million sales in its first week. So we'll see if Spider-Man can top that. They're already over halfway there in one day.
Ragnarok has the multi-generation benefit, though.
Yeah.
So
it'll be probably helped him.
Yeah. At this point, you can find a PS5 if you want one, but you maybe can't afford one.
Yeah, Justin just got one. My little brother.
Whoa.
He has graduated to the big leagues, and he loves it. First game he played, Hogwarts Legacy. Do I question his choices sometimes? Yes, but not a bad choice.
Not a bad choice.
Not a bad choice.
Yeah.
I heard that Gollum game is pretty good.
Not as good as King Kong, though.
So I'm very excited to be a Sony fan because of Spider-Man, and now we're going to talk about something that makes me sad. Oh. Naughty Dog. As I said at the beginning in the news, there's been a lot of layoffs going on, and Naughty Dog is not immune. They are laying off 25 developers. There is, according to Kotaku. God damn it. Kotaku.
No. Get it
I don't call it Kotaku. I don't care. I really don't care about it.
You know how hard reading is?
They had a great article on Kotaku about Johnny Rigatoni.
Yeah, I read that one.
EA.
There is no severance being offered, and they are expected to work through the end of their contracts, which are going to be at the end of the month here, so any day now.
Talk about a very naughty dog. Am I right?
I was going to say,
God,
the naughtiest of
Sony
dogs.
did not immediately respond for comment, and it just kind of sucks. They're laying off a lot of like the testing people at the end cycle of games. Once you get it kind of polished, the people that go through and try to find all the bugs and shit with it. And this makes me extra sad because it means that their factions multiplayer is now effectively on ice for
I thought
The
it
Last
was-
of Us Part 2.
Yeah, I thought I heard that.
Despite the show killing it, the multiplayer did not do well, and it was internally reviewed by Bungie, who said the game is hot dog shit.
And they know dog shit.
Yeah.
They are.
They've made quite a bit of it.
Yep.
Destiny plays great. Hot
Listen,
dog shit.
hey, I know my dog shit.
Yeah.
You seen Destiny? I'm telling you,
I ate 10 plates of that. It's dog shit.
Neil
I ate it.
Druckmann's like, I believe him. I believe when they say that. Because Neil Druckmann has a New York accent.
He does, yeah.
so the multiplayer game is not canceled, which is good. Fractions is not canceled, but it's effectively on ice. With the hit show going on HBO, because the TV series was very good, and Neil Druckmann taking over as commander-in-chief over at Naughty Dog now, it's a little touch and go over there. I think Neil's going to pull it out. I don't think that
He's not gonna finish.
have any issues.
Save it for 3.
That was
Save it for
good.
3.
As long as they put a Pedro Pascal skin in the game, that's all I care about.
They will apparently make a Last of Us Part 3. There is more and more rumblings that this is why this is happening. This is why Neil got promoted to CEO, and on top of also just being baller at his job. But Fractions going to the wayside and focus moving to a new IP and Naughty Dog's third entry into the Last of Us series, which I think would wrap up the series very nicely, and I would love that, and please do it.
Have they made any false promises about no more crunching?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
This will not happen again.
I don't believe it. I still don't believe it.
Yeah, so
For some reason, I don't
believe you.
I don't trust it.
layoffs keep happening.
Okay, that's bad. Last of Us multiplayer is something I never would have touched anyway, so that's fine to me.
No, did you
I
ever
mean,
play
at this
the first
point,
one?
what? The game is like 2-3 years old now?
Yeah, it should have been
Yeah.
out. It was supposed to come out, I think the first time I read about it, it was going to be 6 months.
Yeah.
And then it was a year, and then there was no word.
Yeah.
But Factions is so much fun. As a multiplayer game, it's a little more grounded. It's not as bullet spongy as like Call of Duty and stuff. Like, you also have to craft and do shit. It's very fun.
Mm-hmm.
In the age of
I liked it a lot.
Tears of the Kingdom and Spider-Man 2 and Mario Wonder and Alan Wake 2, I just can't play more games. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Last of Us. I'll watch the show.
No, you got to make time for The Last of Us.
Nope.
People are freaking out over the new PlayStation Slim design.
Yep. I heard it's an extra $30 to make it stand up vertically.
Yeah, something like that. They're freaking out. Sony's forthcoming smaller PlayStation 5 will make the disk drive swappable. So you can buy essentially an external disk drive.
Ew, I don't like that at all.
It's I'm trying to wrap my head around how that makes sense as a company to make that.
Remember when the Xbox 360 had the external HD DVD drive?
Yeah.
And it was dumb and no one bought it.
No one bought it, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the disk drive version is $500. The digital only is $450, and the external disk drive is $80.
Fucking weird.
So you
Yeah,
can
that's
save
just-
$20 to have some janky ass setup, or you can just buy the disk drive version and be
So-
fine.
Did they make it look cool yet?
But like,
looks-
it's
I
the
like
same
it.
design. Isn't it the same design? It's just like,
I think it's got a little stripe of
Okay.
light down the side now.
all right. But I mean, it's still got the same like bat wings on it, right? Or something like, but you have to take one of the bat wings off and then remove the disk drive or something like that. It was
Something like that.
okay.
But where's it at? Oh, I lost my spot. Hold on. Oh,
It's just a 30% reduction in size. Is that enough?
It's enough for people to buy a system again.
Yeah, I guess.
it was leaked that the new disk drive functionality will require an internet connection, though. And that's what's got people up in arms, because hardware should not rely on a server that may or may not be around forever.
100%.
I mean, that's kind of been part of the problem with a lot of games where it's like, what, those disks only hold a certain amount of data. And I know, like Call of Duty, every time you fire up Call of Duty, you have to download everything.
And I think, but with Call of Duty, my suspicion is that they're pieces of shit and that they want that to be the only game on your hard drive. So unless you're buying additional space, they're bloating their file size so that you cannot play another game. They want to be your game.
Yep.
Whereas a game like Red Dead Redemption, which is fucking massive, deservedly so because of the amount of shit that happens in that game and the stuff that you can do.
Yeah.
But people are freaking out because this external hard drive or external disk drive will require an internet connection to hook up for the first time, and it's got people freaking out. But I think it might be a one-time connect to the internet because of BD Live.
Maybe they just wanted to release something stupid to make people forget about the PlayStation Portal.
I was going to say that they already did release something stupid called the Portal. And
is it out?
No, it's not out
I
yet.
was going to say, it's coming out this month, though. November. Right?
Oh, are you
Yeah.
getting one?
No.
Okay,
No, come on. Come on. I still want them to bring back the Vita. I want Vita 2.
This is all we got.
That's
Stoy. This is all we got.
I know, but I'm still going to be butthurt by it.
Yeah.
People don't like that this is a thing. You should have a disk drive, but as you touched on earlier, we're moving to a digital world. Best Buy is already starting to move that way.
Walmart, too, I thought.
Yeah.
They're going to stop selling Xbox physical games in 2024.
This I didn't give a shit about any of that. I don't really care about the external disk drive. I have the launch disk drive version, but what I found very interesting was that Sony also said that once they run out of launch consoles, the Slim will be the only one you can get.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's, I'd say, common.
It's surprising me because I didn't realize how far we are into this generation.
It's been out
3
for a
years?
while. Yeah.
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 I mean, in most generations, last, 7?
Yeah, so we're
The Switch has been around for a while, and they're always rumbling.
Yeah. God, the Switch 2 rumors are just getting out of control now.
Just call it the Nintendo Super Switch.
Yeah.
Call it a day.
I don't want to get in. I have a lot of notes on Sean Layden here because he had a really good article posted that I thought was really interesting, talking about the future of video games. He's a former Sony employee. He left in 2019, but he had some really cool insight into the acquisitions and what he called barbarians at the gate, which is Google, Netflix, Apple, Amazon, all coming into the sector. Just wanted to point out that if you want an interesting read on what somebody in the industry thinks about the future of gaming and the possible pitfalls that are coming, look up Sean Layden's interview with GameIndustry.biz. It's a lot of boring stuff that wouldn't translate well over the podcast, but I just wanted to point out that you should read it. He's got some really interesting points.
Sounds interesting, yeah.
It's very foreboding.
Doug Bowser recently did an interview where he said, he made a brief comment about Microsoft getting Activision Blizzard. And of course, Bowser is, like the head of Nintendo America.
Yeah, Nintendo America.
And he said, acquisitions happen. Like, that's a part of this industry. And they said, we love working with Microsoft and Nintendo. They're like, there's been a lot of their stuff on our consoles. We have Minecraft. We're very excited about Microsoft and our partnership. And nobody talked about Sony.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Sony just needs to play well with others.
It doesn't sound like they even play well with each other.
Because Microsoft's like, we'll still give you fucking Call of Duty. And Sony's like, well, fuck you, though.
You're not going to get, you liar.
Yep.
Pants on fire.
Yep. I'm telling my mom.
Yeah. Mom.
We're almost at the end of October, but as of the 17th, we did get some good games for PlayStation Premium plus bullshit Spartacus, whatever they're calling it nowadays.
Essentially plus premium.
Essential plus Premium Pro. Disco Elysium Director's Cut was on there.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either, but that's a pretty big one.
Wait, I mean, that's a good... Okay, it's the game that's already out.
Yes.
Okay.
I thought
it was like a new version.
No, I've never played it,
Disco Elysium's fucking great.
but this is my way to play it now. It's on their Gotham.
Disco Elysium is such a heavy game.
Don't smoke weed before you play it.
No.
Totally
You
gonna
need
do
to be
it.
on some uppers, dude. Because that game is intense. It's the most wordy game I have ever played.
Yes.
And it's not easy words. It's like, all right, we're going to introduce 20 new nouns this one paragraph. Good luck. Plus, your guy is hungover, drunk, and doesn't know what he's doing.
Failing
he's me.
every conversation role that you possibly can.
It's kind of
Also,
like
still me.
it's kind of like Inherent Vice and Big Lebowski, but like turned up to 11 and dangerous.
Is that the Joaquin Phoenix movie, Inherent Vice?
Yeah.
You know, I bought that on Blu-ray. I've still never seen it.
It's good.
I should watch that.
Yeah.
Gotham Knights, The Dark Pictures Anthology, House of Ashes, Alien Isolation, Dead Island Definitive Edition, Outlast 2, Elite Dangerous, Far Changing Tides. Mm-hmm. I don't know that game.
Don't know that one.
Gungrave, Gore, Gore.
That's an interesting one. That's been on Game Pass for a while.
I don't know this one off the top of my head. Eldest Souls. Eldest Souls.
Well, I guarantee it's something that's aping off of Dark Souls and Elden Ring.
Yep.
Probably 2D, I'd guess.
Maybe it's a coincidence.
And
Maybe it's a
Roki.
coincidence. This is the Legend of Helga.
But yeah,
Based on Norse mythology.
a nice solid lineup of games for us. We also got Farming Simulator 2022, which I played about 4 hours of.
Do you like it?
I
I bet you like it less than Lawn Mowing Simulator.
hate it.
Yeah, okay, good.
Ugh.
That's my opinion of Farming
I
Simulator
hate
games.
it.
I want to like it.
It's way too overly complicated, and the physics of I like to start with nothing and then like go do the other people's field and then buy the land so that I eventually have my own spot. But that requires you to drive a truck around to place.
Is there a story mode? Like, you should start off as a farmhand and just get like a few menial tasks and eventually learn what you need to do. Instead of, I remember just being able to buy a million things that I didn't know how to operate. And I didn't even know what the fuck was
Well,
going
it
on.
would tell me like you need to go plow this field, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go buy a plow and a tractor because I have all this money. Because it starts you out with quite a bit. I was like, I'll just be the plow guy for now.
Yeah, when you realize how much tractors cost in real life, wow.
Yeah, and then I bought the wrong plow, and I'm like, it's the one in the photo.
Oh.
And it was just confusing, and the controls suck, and I was mad at it. So I did not like it. Lawn Mowing Simulator for the win always.
I still want to try Power Washing Simulator.
Oh
the
my
Final
God.
Fantasy VII DLC. Of
Yeah.
Can you start your own company, though?
I mean, you have your own company, but you start small.
Yeah,
You
same
start
with
small,
lawn.
and then people start calling you and like giving you big name projects, and then you start getting like creepy texts from across the street neighbors.
I like this.
Yeah,
sounds good.
they're like texting you like, "Hey, I've been watching you across the street. You're doing a really great job." And then all of a sudden, like, you're freaked out. You're looking across, and you don't see anybody there, and you're like, "What the hell is going on?"
Nothing. I mean, one of the great,
So satisfying. Oh my god.
one of the greatest gaming thrills I've ever had is when I bought my first zero-turn lawnmower and had to mow that pasture where they train the horses in Lawn Mowing Simulator.
Whoa.
I knew I finally arrived because in real life, my dad has a zero-turn,
Ooh.
and in my video game life, I have two of them.
Did you brag to your dad that you...
I did.
And he said, I don't care.
I told him I was going to
You are
buy the
not
game
my
because
son.
he has a PlayStation 5. Well, my little brother does. And I was like, you should definitely just give it a try.
Oh boy. What did you open up?
That is the majority of the PlayStation news that I have.
What have we been playing? Mine is quick. Okami, quite a bit on the road. We had 4,000 miles worth of driving, and I played probably 7 hours of Okami on the road. I know I'm about halfway through the game. Dylan told me the other day, he's like, it is the best Zelda game ever made. I would not go that far. It's beautiful. It's very fun, and I love the mechanics thus far. The world does feel a little open and empty sometimes, but it is a Wii game made on the GameCube. I say that just because of that nice little waggle brush, which is such a fucking Wii mechanic.
I was gonna say because it came out of the GameCube first, but then the Wii pretty much immediately after that.
It just seems like a Wii game, but I'm
Yeah.
loving that. And then Final Fantasy X, I am at the Calm Lands. I definitely just made out with Yuna. My name is Ellen DeGeneres. I am wearing half lederhosen. I don't know how to color match my clothing, and I cry a lot.
He's wearing a basketball hoop for a pant leg.
I didn't notice that until this playthrough.
Yeah.
I never learned how to dress myself. I am out of touch with the world, and my inner monologue is the most annoying thing you'll ever hear. I like sphere grids, and Aaron is so fucking OP. My
Yeah.
God, that motherfucker.
Every time he goes in for that hit, man.
Just double damage on
Yeah.
every hit compared to anyone else.
Because he never uses his strong hand.
He has his drinking hand, and he's got
he's
his
got his
sword
strong
hand.
hand.
I love the drinking hand.
Yeah.
It's great. I'm using the new sphere grid for the HD remaster for the first time instead of the classic one.
I Googled
Did they give
it.
you a choice?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, they do. All right, I was gonna say
I
because the
Goog-
original Sphere Good was amazing.
I hate. I mean, I like that.
I liked it.
I like that. No, I love the original.
Okay.
and I like that there's a choice.
Yeah.
I know when we do Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age, the license board, you don't get a choice.
Oh yeah.
And the original one I adored.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very worried about getting to that one, but 10's great. Loving it.
I am currently I'm only like 10 hours into 10. I didn't play very much of that, but I did start a new playthrough and bought Phantom Liberty, and I am 72 hours in. It's been,
Just on that alone, or like we're talking Cyberpunk and Phantom Liberty?
No, I started
I was
a
gonna say.
brand new game.
Oh, okay, right.
So start to finish. I've still not beaten it. I beat the DLC, though. I wrapped up all those storylines. I wrapped up the majority of characters' storylines last night, so all I have left is the decision on which ending I'm going to choose, and it has left me a nervous wreck. Because
Go with the red light that makes you Reapers.
Well, see, this is my problem.
Just shoot the kid.
Just shoot the kid.
Shoot the kid.
This is my problem, is the DLC has an ending, and then it seems like there's a finite final ending that you can achieve after you beat the DLC ending. That is not in the base game.
Okay.
Then there's the vanilla endings. And I can choose either way, but it seems like I'm going to miss a portion of the original game if I choose the decision that I'm going to make without spoiling anything. That makes no sense.
I see what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
You're in a bit of a pickle.
Yeah, if I choose the DLC ending, I miss the vanilla ending of the game, and I don't know what that means for me and Johnny Silverhand.
And I'm at a point when there's a game that's 70 hours. I know that I'm probably not going to play it again.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe in 5 years, but maybe not. So it's tough making that decision because you know this is probably going to be your only time going through this
I
content.
created a save file.
I should play Elden Ring again.
I created a save file so I could go back and do all the endings. I did it right before the ending. So I have that, so I'll probably fuck around with those. But
I know what you're talking about, and because
tough.
I thought that was an interesting way to start the DLC where they gave you that decision. I'm gonna avoid spoilers at this point because it's still fresh, but I was like, wow, they're gonna give you that option like right off the gate with this DLC. Like,
yeah.
What's that gonna do with the regular vanilla game? Because it was the same thing. I'm pretty much to the end of my playthrough of the original game, but then I was like, well, let me jump into this and see if that kind of plays effect on anything. And yeah,
I've wrapped up everybody's storylines. I've beaten all the boxers. I've found all the tarot cards.
oh wow,
I have done all of the jobs. I have like 10 cyber psychos to incapacitate, but that's just like I'm not really into the cyber psycho thing. I was surprised to see that when you go to without spoiling anything, the final vanilla mission, it happens very early on.
yeah.
Where it's like this is a point of no return. Happened at like 24 hours into the game. So I've played an additional like 50 hours of side quests and the side plots, the side stories where you're wrapping up character side stories, like Carrie Eurodyne's story is fucking great.
I don't like that the point of no return is that
It's
early.
so early,
I
yeah.
like, in Skyrim where you can do the whole story and then you can move to the next story instead of, all right, let's do 50 other hours and hope I remember the narrative thrust from that where I was in that mission.
Yeah, because so much has happened now where it makes me think I should just take the official DLC ending and see what happens.
And that's kind of why I liked Starfield's approach, where it was like they even told you to do the exact opposite, is like beat the main story mission first, beat all of those first, and then go back and do all the other side quests. Like it's just, I don't know.
And usually I'm with a lot of Bethesda games, the main story mission's usually the worst content out of all of it.
And it kind of was. It
So
kind of
it's-
was. I was like, man, I'm
Yeah.
just glad to kind of be done with this because now that I'm doing all the side missions in Starfield, I'm like,
Now I
this
can
is
do the
much
dark,
better
now
content.
I can be in the Dark Brotherhood.
Yeah. You could be a Freestar Ranger, dog.
I wish there was like an Elder Scrolls world in that game, just like they were still back in the Elden fantasy times.
That would be kind of interesting if like the Dark Brotherhood did kind of
Work its way
Yeah.
in. I'd like that.
Yeah.
so
So
opportunity, Bethesda.
Is there gods in that game like that have an effect on the world, or is it all science and reality?
No comment.
Okay, good.
yeah, Cyberpunk's been
I don't
great.
know how to answer that question. That's why I say that.
Phantom Liberty is a major improvement. Stoy can probably agree with me. The new skill tree is infinitely better.
And I have a man crush on Idris Elba.
Yes, his mocap and dialogue is much better than
I have
vanilla
I'm
Johnny
sexually
Silverhand.
attracted
Yeah.
to Knuckles, so
Oh, then you're
You
fucked.
echidna?
yeah. Well, I mean Idris Elba.
Oh, okay, all right. You're right. He did do the voice.
Yep.
I was like, wait, what?
That
Oh,
wasn't. That was otherwise the worst segue I've ever done.
Yeah.
But he is the voice of Knuckles.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed Cyberpunk. I'm glad it's come full circle, and it is an enjoyable game that actually makes you feel something for the characters and is an excellent opportunity to role play because V's character has a lot of opportunity and it is very fleshed out. So way to go, CD Projekt Red, for fucking it up historically and then saving your asses in the end, because it is a solid game.
Just when I thought you couldn't be any dumber.
You go and do something like this and bring Idris Elba into the game.
Story, what have you been playing?
Spider-Man 2.
Little game.
A little game called Spider-Man 2.
Heard about that.
Yeah.
That Peter Parker guy,
So,
right?
spoiler alert, in case you guys don't know, Miles Morales is the other Spider-Man.
Jesus Christ. Man.
Holy fucking shit.
I know, I keep
His
dropping
mom works
bomb
for
after
that-
bomb after bomb.
His mom works for the company that Spider-Man's always involved in.
Yeah.
Man, the Rhino, Paul Giamatti, is scary.
Yeah. That Russian accent that Paul Giamatti does. Man of multiple accents. No, the game is, what's interesting is that the main campaign missions and the set pieces are probably some of the most amazing, like, edge of your seat moments. Like, I'm so excited for you to experience those again, because there was like so many of these missions where I was like, what the fuck's the point in all this stuff? Like the beginning of these main story missions, good story development, good character development, and you're just wondering, like, what is this all for? What does this all mean? And then it's like, it makes a turn, and then it becomes either just like a bombastic blockbuster Michael Bay event or a big story development to where it really kind of like, okay, this is why this game is just hooking me in and keep drawing me in.
I've heard from one of the regulars that comes into OPE that the set pieces are his favorite thing.
Yes.
That they completely blew him away.
Yeah, like there was one particular one where I was playing through it and I was like, this is fucking stupid. Like you're at a carnival and it's like, what the hell am I doing here? Really, do I have to spend all this time here at this carnival? And then all of a sudden, like, it changes and it's like, wow. But yeah, it's just it's really not as bloated as what people say. Like, it's, if you remember the first Spider-Man and all, like, obviously you got the app that's still present. You have all the neighborhood districts, and obviously the crimes that keep popping up every now and then. And it's
catch the pigeons.
Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet, but you have to set up drones in neighborhood districts, which can kind of give you more side missions.
Yeah.
There's a lot more web swinging mechanics. I think that's the most fun part about it, because now you can slipstream, and you can wear, like, each Spider-Man has like a flying squirrel suit.
Yeah, that I saw that in the last trailer. That
it makes traversal like so much faster.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Who would win in a fight? An entire facility of trained military combatants, or a redhead with a stun gun?
I've heard the developers make comments on this where they said
the one meme that I have seen that has spoiled like a little bit for me.
The developer came out and said, I don't give a fuck. He didn't say fuck. He's like, I don't care if people think MJ is overpowered. We wanted to make her an important, strong character. And I just like that they said we don't give a fuck. MJ is the shit.
I'm surprised they addressed it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
But she's a woman.
Yeah, right? Women can't compete against men that are trained.
Oh, first they make me Miles Morales and not Peter Parker, and then they make me be a woman.
They're making these comments about a superhero game. And now there's like elements of fantasy in this as well. And people are making comments about a redhead with a stun gun. Like, it didn't make sense.
Or the fact that
to me.
her face isn't the same, and they're like,
well, neither was Peter Parker's.
It's the same actors.
I didn't like when they changed the face in the original game.
I didn't like it either because I was so used to the original one.
Also, I moved on in 10 seconds, though.
Yeah, because you know what? Life goes on.
I heard that they also confirmed that the Wolverine game is set in the same universe as the Marvel Spider-Man game.
I would believe it.
That would be cool.
It's confirmed now, which is cool. Like, I don't know if there'll be crossovers, but 10 years from now, there's going to be the Avengers.
I do want to say, we can talk about it later because I don't want to spoil anything for you. There is one little spoiler that I think I read, and if I am right, or if it's true, then I'm going to be super psyched because I did make a prediction it might have been months ago about Spider-Man 2 and 3. It sounds like it might come true.
Okay.
I'm kind of curious.
I'm just setting the table now so that once we all play it and we talk about it, I can have my slam dunk moment.
Okay.
You can dunk on us fools.
Well, it wouldn't be on specifically you. It would be on the internet.
It'd be like a slam dunk contest for yourself.
Yeah, it's just something to make me feel better.
Yeah, the combat's a little bit tougher.
It's good.
compared to the first one. The first one, obviously, there was a lot of instances where it got a little easier, but there's different, more variety of enemy types. They're a lot stronger. Obviously, so Spider-Man's been around for a while, so obviously the enemies got to get tougher. Kraven's one of the main villains at this point, and he's coming in, wreaking havoc. Did you guys see the movie? There was a movie.
It's not out
Kraven.
already.
I don't think so.
No, I've seen the trailer, and
Yeah.
it looks like they made the White Panther movie instead of the Black
The
Panther.
Craven
Yeah.
movie. Doesn't it have like that guy from Kick-Ass playing?
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Russell Crowe is his dad.
Russell Crowe just having fun with his life.
Is
and
Tom
I
Holland
appreciate
in it?
No.
No.
Just the Craven
There will
movie.
be oblique references to, like, I heard about a vulture guy.
Well, yeah.
And
I
credits.
think that was what Sony's plan was to develop what do they call it? The Terrible Six or whatever. They were supposed to set up
Sinister Seven.
Sinister Seven. Yeah, that
No,
was
for,
it.
for them, it would be the Terrible Six.
Yeah, because that's what they gave Vulture his time in a Spider-Man movie, and then there was the Morbius movie, and then now Kraven, and I don't know who else they're doing, but
Venom.
yeah, Venom. Oh yeah, Venom. That was
Is
the
it
other one. Yeah.
Electro or whatever? Jamie Foxx.
Yeah. So the opening of the game, Spider-Man 2, is amazing. Just you're fighting against Sandman, and it's just an amazing start to the game.
Ooh, like me some Sandman.
Really good. But there's a lot more variety compared to the first one. A lot of similarities. You'll fit right at home, especially if you've played the game. A lot more different. Enemy varieties. A lot more traversal. Is a lot more fun. I'm playing on quality mode, and it runs silky smooth. I don't know how the hell they did it, but Manhattan just looks super detailed, even when you're swinging through real fast. It's just, man, they really upped their game with this. Just looks amazing.
I played all of Cyberpunk with ray tracing on.
Yeah?
And I did have the occasional hiccup or something clipping, but god damn, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
You can save most of your thoughts on this, but is it your game of the year, you think?
So far, Starfield was up there for me, but now that I'm playing Spider-Man 2, I was I had high expectations coming into it, and when you have high expectations and every one of those have been met, I mean, it's just bliss right there.
It'll be interesting to see if it overtakes Jedi Survivor for me.
I mean, Jedi Survivor was good too.
That's currently my game of the year.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I have to say Skull Island.
Okay.
Rise
all
of
right.
Kong. Now, there's 5 levels in the game. Wow. They're so big with nothing to do.
Yeah.
Skill trees. Your Kong can learn how to break rocks a few different ways.
Holy
I hear
shit.
it's really easy to platinum that game or get all the achievements.
Speaking of platinums,
Is this a segue?
I want to go use my platinum toilet real quick. Is that what we were talking about?
You have a platinum toilet. Wow.
It's just called a bidet.
Yeah, it's because I 100%ed Game of Thrones Telltale game.
So did I, actually.
Easiest
That was
one
one of
ever.
my platinums. Oh, my God.
Yeah, we're going to take another quick break, and then we'll be back to discuss.
Trophies and achievements.
That was the platinum sound.
All right, so we're going to talk achievements and trophies and gamer scores and things that may or may not matter to you. The reason that I felt we should talk about this is I saw an interesting post on the PlayStation Reddit not too long ago of a guy claiming to have his 100th platinum. And it's supposed to be this thing in the PlayStation community where you're a big deal if you can get 100 platinums.
And really what it is they probably went and looked up some fucking shovelware that was ranked as the easiest to platinum.
Yeah.
And they're like, I did it.
They either did that or photoshopped it, though, because as a keen observer, not me, but somebody else pointed out in the comments, the amount of rare and ultra rare trophies they have compared to the platinum trophies does not line up. You should have much more of those harder trophies when you have the platinum, which is true. But it also made me think, one of the reasons that I am so ingrained in Sony and probably will never leave, I will get an Xbox, but Sony is my console, my go-to, is the trophies. I do have a lot of them, and although they do nothing, it is my legacy.
Well, you know what's nice for Xbox is my achievements from the 360 are still rocking hard.
Yep.
Same with the PlayStation 3.
Oh, the 3's up there as well.
Yeah, the other threes. I actually, when I was looking through my trophy list, I was like, oh man, I haven't played these games in a long time.
Yeah, it was like Heavy Rain.
Yeah.
So
right.
Trophies were in PlayStation 3 and achievements were in 360. So that's where this started.
The only thing is that achievements have obviously been around for longer. Then trophies came, I think, halfway through PlayStation 3 cycle.
Oh, you're talking about like just achievements for the PlayStation 3? Or the trophies came halfway through the PS3.
Yeah, the PS3 cycle. Achievements have been around as long as the 360 is.
Because they saw Xbox had a good thing going, and then they found a way to make people keep playing a game even though they've completed what they wanted to.
Yeah.
I have conflicting thoughts on trophies and achievements.
If I do platinum a game, yes, beer.
Yes, we have one more beer we're drinking. This is also from Marble Brewery. This is Desert Fog. It's a hazy IPA.
It's hazy, all right.
From ABQ. And yes, it's fantastic. I love their brewery. Cheers, fellas.
Cheers. That is a tasty beverage.
That's a tasty hazy.
It's only gotten better since I last drank it, actually.
Ooh, I like the aftertaste.
Yeah, I do too, actually. Wow.
Yep, Marble Brewery, very good if you have a chance to make it down there.
My palate is dog shit. I either like something, and then if I really like it, I like the aftertaste. I don't pick up anything in here.
Just pretend you know what you're talking about. It'll work for 90% of craft beer people.
Yeah.
Just say it's very hoppy and go about your business.
I started telling people at work when they ask what hops are in it, I just kept saying Mosaic because it's the only one I could think
Cascade.
of. I had one dude drink an IPA and he's like, "That's not Mosaic." And I was like, "You have a fucking problem, dude."
No. I'm glad, because there's always one person be like, "Oh, you're full of shit," and I'm like, "Yes, you got me."
Yeah.
Busted, dude. You
Hands up.
hands up. I said that same bullshit to everybody, and it worked. Sorry, as you were saying about achievements.
What was I saying?
All I know is Nintendo's we don't want no part of that shit.
Well, and it's weird the way Nintendo does it because the games put their own achievements in them sometimes.
Yeah.
And they literally mean nothing. You'll get a little notification at the top like, hey, here's an achievement, quote unquote, for completing a level or doing a challenge. And it's like, okay, great, thanks.
I don't know enough about what's happening in the back end because there's like a PlayStation Stars and there's like an Xbox like bonus like challenges.
If you play games on Game Pass and every achievement that you get gives you rewards points.
Yep.
That you can put in for like sweepstakes and even like gift cards.
There
Okay.
are like sometimes very heavily old discounted games.
Yeah.
So there is potentially you can get something for getting these bullshit gamer points.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you'd have to really, really work hard to get these points and get enough. I think like I just got like a $3 gift card off the Xbox Game Pass achievements. I was like, wow, great.
I've almost earned like $5 through PlayStation.
Neat.
I don't want to say that going out of your way to get platinum trophies and 100% achievements in games is dumb, because if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But I think it's very dumb, and I don't like it.
I think it's just bragging points.
Yes.
It's bragging rights.
For me, it's bragging rights,
Yeah.
and it's also a stamp of like if I've platinum a game, that meant that Tyler really fucking liked that game.
Yeah.
Because I only have like 6 platinums.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I have thousands of trophies.
I have 6 platinums, but 7 technically because they count FF7 twice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they counted
think they
Intergrade separately, right? Didn't they?
I don't know if it's that or the PS4 and the PS5 versions wound up counting separately. I think that was it, because I got the PS4 one and then the PS5 plus Intergrade. But
Okay.
I do appreciate when a studio makes their achievements and they're funny and they're thoughtful and they're not mean. Some achievements are mean. Beat Double Dragon co-op without getting hit one time on hard mode.
Yeah.
Like there are some of them that are not designed to be like, oh, you're enjoying the game, you want to just play more. I like games where if you beat a game, 75% of your trophies should be there.
Yes.
And then afterwards, it's like, go find all of the weapons or use all of the skills. Let me see your content. I'm into that. Some of those, I hate achievements which are rack up 1 million kills in your boat or something.
Yeah.
And those are mean, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the Spider-Man ones are kind of kind of fun to look at. It's like juggle an enemy and hit them 20 times in the air. It's
That's fun.
How can I do that? I mean, but yeah, those are fun. Like some of those are fun, and it's like I love it when those randomly pop up, and it's like, wow, I didn't even mean to do that. Like throw a or web sling 3 enemies together at once, and it's like, oh wow, I didn't even mean to do that. But
Yeah, throw a motherfucker at another motherfucker. That's, I think, one of them in the original Spider-Man.
Yeah, they'll say something like that when the achievement pops up.
Yeah. I like it when they're funny with it.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is one of my platinums, the original Spider-Man, which
cool.
means I'll probably platinum Spider-Man 2 because it is one of the easier games to platinum. And it's just bragging points.
God of War Ragnarok had very funny achievements.
Yeah, I still didn't platinum that one yet. New Game Plus, though, here we come.
I was really the only thing I never did in the first God of War, or the first one,
2018?
Yeah, 2018 was I didn't beat all the Valkyries
Because they're hard
and there
as
was
fuck.
no way I was going after that. I was like, no.
That's the kind of content, though, that I do like. I might not go and do it, but it's when it's, collect 100 bullshit lore items.
Those fucking ravens.
I'm not going to go back. There's a threshold. Assassin's Creed broke me back in the day to where I'm like, I draw the line in the sand and I do not cross this line. And God of War Ragnarok, I almost 100%ed because I did beat all of the Valkyries or whatever they're called. The kings. I defeated the Valkyrie and then all of the 12 old kings or whatever. But,
Those guys are hard.
But no, that was fun. That was fun content.
Really?
But it's when it was like, go collect 100 bullshit lore items. I'm like, I'm not going back. I'm just not. I'm not going to spend 3 hours rewalking spots to pick up a clay pot that says Loki bad.
That's what annoyed me about Uncharted 4 is trying to collect all the little treasures and just like, it's in the grass here, way in this corner over there. And it's like you're walking around spending hours and hours trying to collect like a random thing that you don't really know where it is. That's where it kind of takes me out. To where it's like, I don't want to have to like break my immersion just because there's something over there that I need to like divert my attention to.
I don't want to pull up my phone and Google, where is this plate in the grass?
Or like...
and I do it sometimes, and I hate myself.
Yeah, I know.
The Last of Us and God of War, for that instance, because they're very similar level designs sometimes, are the worst with it. Because you'll be walking down a path, and it comes to a T intersection. You look to the left, and it obviously is a dead end, but you can walk down it.
Yeah.
And they put it in the game for a reason. So now I have to go explore this little dead end for a second to try and hopefully find a collectible, only to find nothing, to turn around and break my immersion from the game because I was supposed to be running away from something. But I'm like, hold on, gotta check behind this dumpster real quick.
I know, and that's where it can kind of get annoying, and trying to trophy hunt and achievement hunt is just like, well, there could be something there that could be collectible, and then all of a sudden you get disappointed, or, nothing's there.
I've been playing Final Fantasy X, getting ready for, in 2 weeks we have an episode. And I've essentially 100% of that game twice before on the PlayStation 4. And so I did all of the hunting. I did all of the monster arena. I did like the dark aeons. I did all of the weird special bonus bosses. And I'm sitting there and I am at 87% of the trophies.
Wow.
I am missing 2. And one of them is get 5 treasure chests during the Chocobo race, which I would have done if that was all it is. The other one is complete the sphere grids for all main characters.
No.
Wow.
And it's not only complete, but you also have to
That's
fill in.
a lot of grinding.
My understanding is you have to complete all of the blank spots with those bonus spheres and just go through every single spot. And no. Sometimes I get so close. Destiny, I'm at 85%. But
The first one?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
But you can't go back and do those
No.
without the online. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I am missing just a few trophies. But it would be probably 5 hours of work, and I don't want to do that after
So how many
110
hours? I was going to say, how many hours did you put in on Odyssey?
probably 110.
Wow.
And that was without replaying anything.
Yeah. So you got all 3 endings pretty much? Like, did you?
I did everything.
You did everything? Wow.
The other one that I wanted to mention that I didn't complete, Bloodborne. I have half of my leg dedicated to Bloodborne.
Yeah.
I was surprised to find out I only had 56% of trophies.
Wow.
And I've beaten that game 3 times. And yeah, I didn't acquire all the weapons or tools and endings because I didn't do the lazy ending ever. And then I have to defeat the Chalice dungeons, which is like that weird extra bonus, probably 30 or whatever hours. And I didn't do that. Those are the ones that I had to note that I was like, I'm close and I care and I want it. they just put this unrealistic goal that I don't want to invest in.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2,373 trophies, 5 platinums, 67 gold, 349 silver, and 1952 bronze. As I said at the top of the episode, I am over 70 hours into Cyberpunk 2077. I'm at 36%.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I thought I'd be way higher. If I beat the fucking game, well, I know I haven't beaten the game yet, so I got at least a couple more achievements coming pretty quick.
Yeah.
But if I've played this long, I should have more. And I think that's kind of what stopped my trophy hunting, because going back to probably about 2019, 2020, I decided that I was going to platinum every game I play. And I started with Days Gone, the zombie game.
You decided you're going to platinum every game you play?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was living in Denver and I played a lot of video games and I was like, I should have more platinum trophies. I'm going to start platinuming every game I play. And it was right when Ghost of Tsushima was supposed to come out. And I started with Days Gone, platinumed that. Then platinumed Ghost. Then platinumed Spider-Man. And then realized this is taking fucking forever. I am done with this. Mm-hmm. Unless it's an easy platinum, I can go just for the bragging rights.
If it's like another like a little bit after,
like another 4 or 5 hours after the main game, I'm cool with that.
it was Persona 5 Royal. I was done with the game and I was missing 2 achievements, and I had to go back and do like another 5-10 hours. I'm like, I like the game enough. Sometimes I'll go back, but it's a lot to every game. You were being mean.
And then after that, I think I went back and played. It was the first Lord of the Rings. What was that? Shadow of Mordor?
Shadow of Mordor was the first one. Shadow of War is the
Yeah, I
second.
Shadow War was the
platinum
second one, yeah.
Mordor because I was really into the Nemesis system. That was a lot of fun to see those guys come back and try to fuck me up every time.
The first time I ran into Douche, I'm like, I'm going to nurture you, Douche. You were going to be around for my entire life, Douche. 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 Stoy, you don't have a ton of
No,
platinums.
I'm actually looking through my list already, and I'm just like,
I know you have some Mayo game.
yeah. So, if you ever played the game series, it's a 3-part series called My Name Is Mayo. The objective is to just tap a mayo jar. You basically have like a floating finger, and then there's a mayo jar on the screen, and you just sit there and you tap it. And like after you tap it for a certain amount of times, other things happen. You know, the mayo jar will bring out, will wear different outfits. Or there'll be some other things in the background.
I did not expect you to say the mayo jar would wear different outfits.
Yes.
I imagine this game going a few ways.
So
That is
like, the
not what
more
I
you
saw.
tap it, like the more outfits it changes to. There was a particular outfit where it wears whipped cream nipples with cherries, and then like a whipped cream bikini. Like
The Chris Evans outfit from
can't make
another
this-
teen movie.
Yeah. There was like a, I want to say like the second one had a story about forbidden love. And there was a scene in the game where like you're tapping a mayo jar, but there were like horse/human hybrid figures with wheels, basically butt ramming each other.
I am so fucking confused.
And I know I'm trying to
This is wild.
describe this.
What's it called?
My Name Is Mayo.
My Name Is Mayo.
It's like a $2 game, and like it's literally just like you're just tapping it. And I think the objective is to maybe just like get like 1,000 taps or something like that, whatever. But it's like it is about as weird as I'm describing. It's a very easy platinum trophy to get. Like you can knock it out in a day as long as you don't mind tapping the X button like 5,000 times in a day.
I like the
know.
logo and the title.
Can I see it?
Yeah,
I like the art style.
yeah. I mean, it's very nice, calming, soothing music. Yeah.
Did you?
What
is that?
that's a gross tongue.
Or an earthworm.
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it's a tongue.
I
Mayonnaise
remember
taken to the next level.
Yeah. really it is. So, and you know how spicy mayo can get.
Did you
sometimes.
accidentally platinum that, or did you like look at the achievements and went back in?
No, I just started. I was like, I'm going to play this game to completion, and I want to do everything I possibly can, and I want to get all the different side missions. I want to get all the outfits. I was like invested, and I was like, let's see how far we can go with this. And sure enough, like knocked it out in like maybe like an hour or two, and you know that was a nice little way to spend a Sunday afternoon, tapping a mayo jar.
And now your gamer score says forever you're the king of mayonnaise.
Yep, and I did it twice.
I look forward to the sequel, Garlic Aioli.
That's what they call it in Europe.
Spicy ketchup.
Yeah.
So, but my problem with you know, what I was scrolling through, like I have a vast library of games that I've played, and the majority of those games, I beat. Like I a lot of times, yeah, sometimes my backlog can get a little crazy to where it's like I want to play everything and I want to experience everything. But it kind of led me to, you know, reflecting on myself when we were talking about this. I was like, I just don't finish games to completion. Like I may just beat like the main story mission, and then I'll look through all the trophies, and I'm like, well, I suppose I could do all this stuff, but
There's 10 other games you want to play.
I know,
sitting
yeah.
in your lap.
Yeah. And so it's like, if I could like dedicate myself to be like, okay, Spider-Man 2 is going to be my life for the next like couple weeks. Like then I could probably do it. But I'm juggling Spider-Man, Forza, Ghost Runner 2 was another one I just picked up. You know, I still want to go back to, I still haven't finished like Final Fantasy 16. You know, Starfield, I still want to kind of like get through some of the stuff. And it's like,
there's so many games. And to convince me to go back and do an extra 10 hours in an Assassin's Creed game is just, I've already been here, you know?
Yeah, especially Assassin's Creed, because I remember like Odyssey, I got one of the endings and I was like, this is the ending? And then I looked it up and to say, oh no, there's 2 other endings. And I was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
And then
Thanks.
at the end of one of the last endings, they're like, Cassandra's story will continue in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And I'm like, oh, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. I was excited. I love Cassandra.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Did you play any Valhalla?
not yet.
Did you play the Atlantis
of
DLC? Yeah.
Atlantis was good.
That was good, yeah.
That was fun. At least it felt different than the previous 100 hours.
Valhalla was good, but Valhalla was, you think Odyssey was long?
Valhalla is
I am drawing a big line where it's going to be strictly only story.
Yeah.
Well, then you might.
That's going to be a problem for you, though.
Yeah.
It is.
Yes. It's going to be a problem for you.
Valhalla. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you may be saying the same thing I'm saying, but like a lot of the Valhalla main story missions are level locked.
Gross.
And I hate it when games do that because it's like,
So I can just pay $30 to get to the next spot then?
well, you could pay $10 to get double XP and everything you should do and progress faster. That's all Ubisoft gets you.
I might do that actually.
I did that with Odyssey, I remember.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah. But yeah, like it brings up the wider problem of just like, you know, I'm paying like $60, $70 for these games and I'm really not experiencing everything that I should be experiencing with them. And it's like, am I wasting money or am I just, you know, like getting bored?
To me, the game, if it's got a nice, rounded, balanced set of achievements, the perfect example, Astro's Playroom.
Yeah.
The achievement was, my missing achievements at the end of the game was like, find all of the pieces of like PS2 memorabilia. I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to go back in.
Yeah.
The music's great. It's a fun little world. It's a nice bite-sized game.
Can we just say, why hasn't Sony picked that up as that being one of its main platforming franchises? Like the Astro's Playroom and Astro's VR game is probably some of the most amazing. I don't know, it's really good.
I would say as good as Mario.
Yeah. 100%.
And I can't. That's a tough thing to say about anything. And I'd say Sony's got a Mario contender, and they seem to know it's their mascot. They just don't push it hard enough.
Yeah.
Yes.
Give that studio time. Like, here, go make a game. Come on.
There's not a new Astro for the VR2 yet, is there?
No, but
There
the
should be.
VR one was like amazing.
I love that one.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that one has like a perfect set of achievements where it was just experiencing all the good stuff in a game
Yeah.
instead of extra bullshit, which is a lot of them. I'm going to do a quick list of what I have 100% achievements and trophies for Xbox, Hades, all achievements.
Yeah.
You got everything for Hades?
Yeah.
Damn.
don't
That's
think-
one that I would like. Because
I don't think
it's
it was
like
that tough.
But it's also like a badge of honor.
I think it's just a lot of time.
It's a lot of time with that. Yeah, for sure.
It's like maxing out everything. What Remains of Edith Finch, which I had to go back and do one thing, but I wanted to do a second playthrough of that anyway, so I just made sure to like, I forget what it was, but I had to do one extra thing with one of the characters.
I think I remember I had to do that same thing too with that because I 100%ed that as well.
And that was a game I wanted to play twice.
Yeah.
And South Park Let's Go Tower Defense, which was just their tower defense game.
Okay.
It's fucking great. And I didn't even mean to, but I 100%ed that. And for the PlayStation, I have 6 Game of Thrones Telltale game, which I think was just beating the game and no one dies or something.
Also, no, it's literally
No,
just
everybody
beating the
dies.
game.
Everybody dies.
That's also one of my platinums.
Same one of my platinums. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think literally every Telltale game I've played, I've platinumed.
Because most of the time it's just finish the chapter.
Yeah.
It's like 10
Completed
achievements.
chapter 2.
But then,
10
like,
chapters.
obviously, they'll give you specific trophies for, like, siding with this person or siding with that person. Some of them are more specific than that, so...
I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, The
which
Walking Dead.
prompts me to play it a second time to make different decisions, which sometimes I don't do.
I also have the problem, though, when I'm trophy hunting, that when I play a game, especially like Cyberpunk or like any of the Telltale games where it's a very like choose your own adventure and there are consequences for your actions and multiple endings, my story's written. When I finish a game, especially like Cyberpunk, I'm not going to play this again.
Yeah,
The V's story is written. That's how it happened. I might go back and play the other ending because I did make that save file, but trophy hunting loses its shine when you're so wrapped up in the character. When I don't want to do a disservice to the character. I have a nice little bow on my neat story here. I don't want to have to go back and ruin that and just play around in a playground that doesn't really, it's not really fun for me anymore.
It's got to have that right balance.
Yeah.
The right balance. And RPGs need to figure that out better too. I don't want a game's narrative momentum to be lost because I go outside of my way to go do a 3-hour dungeon to go collect an Aeon or whatever. Persona 5 Royal, that was a game that was over 100 hours.
Wow.
For the main story. And I went back and did like another 10 because I didn't visit a temple. So I had to go back to start the game over and get to the point where I could visit a temple. But I was happy with that. Final Fantasy VII Remake and Intergrade. Defeating the optional bosses was the challenge, and it was fun, and I didn't regret a single second of any of that content. Astro's Playroom. Celeste.
wow, that's impressive, actually, Celeste.
I almost got it on the Xbox as well as the PlayStation.
Yeah.
And if you look at my Nintendo one, I'm sure I got it there too. And then Elden Ring, which that was another one where it was not extra bullshit. It was the perfect amount of content. I think the only thing I would complain is you have to get all 3 different endings. Or no, 6 different endings. And I did all of the legwork. But the way that game works is you'd have to replay the entire game to get a different ending. Unless you save your PlayStation file, put it up in the cloud, go offline, get the ending, turn itself back on, re-download the save, do this, and then re-download the save. So I got all 6 endings on one playthrough, which I am very comfortable saying I did that. That's fine. But so those are the platinums that I have for me.
Do you know what my least favorite trophy is of all time? It happens in a lot of different games. Beat the game on the hardest difficulty.
Yeah.
I have just beaten the game. I get several trophies for whatever I achieved throughout my playthrough. And then I go back to look like, all right, how close am I to like platinum in this thing? I can finally put it to bed. If it's an easy one, I'll go for it.
I'll throw a gauntlet down. I would say a game like Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil Village, that is an acceptable trophy on those.
Because the scaling of the difficulty actually adds something to the game. It's not gratuitously hard, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It's not just like we're going to give them more health, you less health, and your bullets do less now. It's balanced differently.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's a game that I do want to go back and play right away, though.
Yes.
And that's a rare thing. Otherwise, almost everyone...
Which one, Village or 4?
Both.
Both, yeah.
Both of them, it's like the gameplay is fun and engaging. So going back and you're ready for another challenge, and they're so quick.
Yeah.
The first playthrough is 20 hours. The second playthrough is 8.
Yeah.
And
Because you know what you're doing.
Yep.
Yep.
So I like that. But you're right. 95% of games I don't want to play through twice.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to go back and do a new game. And especially like if I take a break and I do decide to go back and replay it, I don't want to do a new game plus. I don't want to start with all the shit. Part of the charm of the game, and a lot of these instances, are like earning your stripes, collecting your gear, leveling up. I don't want to race to the finish line right away.
Yeah.
Part of the charm of the game is getting there. And New Game Plus is not ever something that I'm totally into. With God of War, it was fun because I'm just beating ass. But to make me go through and play a New Game Plus on the hardest difficulty to platinum a game, it's like, well, I'm probably never doing that.
And that's interesting because, like, so I I played the original Mass Effect trilogy, and I 100% all 3 of those games.
Yeah.
Because those are the ones like, beat it on insane difficulty or something like that. So I completed all those missions. Even did some of the multiplayer missions on 360 and stuff. So I 100%, got 100% achievements on those. But when I played the Legendary Edition, I just slapped it on easy because I was like, I really don't want to play this on Insanity. I kind of want to just experience the game again.
Yeah.
So like I don't want to like stress myself out on it. And I want to actually have like a, and not like an easy ride. Obviously, it's got its challenges, but like I just want to have a smooth ride with this. Like I don't know.
You touched on something that is a major problem with some achievement games, guides, trophies. Multiplayer components for a game that loses its multiplayer experience online.
Red Dead Online.
Yeah.
And there's some that's like, all right, you want 100%, Assassin's Creed 4 or 5 or whatever, the French one. Mm-hmm. And it's like,
Unity?
nope,
Yeah.
it's not possible anymore.
Yeah.
And that'll bother some people. I don't give a fuck. But games
Battleborn. Remember Battleborn?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't even play that game, period.
Yeah. And it's you're fucked then.
Yeah.
Like, Destiny, I got close, but at this point, it is what it is.
Didn't PT have trophies?
I don't know.
No, I don't think it did.
I wonder.
What?
I'm trying to remember.
But did you give us your full list of platinum games?
I got Spider-Man, Shadow of Mordor, Days Gone, Ghosts of Tsushima, and Game of Thrones Telltale. I have 5.
No Xbox games.
You
You didn't look at your account.
I haven't had an Xbox. I had one briefly when I had COVID, but I haven't had an Xbox since I was in high school. So
360?
yeah, my 360 was gone in college. I don't have.
So
any.
you might have a 100%.
Oh, I got a
achievement
few
on
out there,
360.
but I have no idea what they are.
I was surprised that I would have an Oblivion one. I was looking today, but they added all the Shivering Isles ones on there, and I never played Shivering Isles. So I had the vanilla game, but it doesn't say it anymore.
I hate it when it says 100%. And I have the platinum, and then they release a DLC, and the next time I look at it, it's like 86, and I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck you. Now I gotta
Make it separate.
See, sometimes they do it better where it's like they'll still retain your 100%, but then they'll add like an extra 5% or something like that.
Yeah, they should do that.
I like when games do that.
Yeah, I would.
With
much
my
rather that.
Xbox is I had to like recreate a new account because I couldn't log into my old account because I think I remember I got the Xbox One X. And when I tried to transfer my account to my One X, I couldn't log into my old account for whatever reason, and I couldn't access my old email, and it was all this big thing. So I literally lost all those achievements from 360 on. So I was trying to like really struggle to remember. I know for a fact I 100%ed the Mass Effect games and Dragon Age 2 because Dragon Age 2 is an easy kind of like single player focused, narrative game that's like easy to 100%. But all the Walking Dead games, Game of Thrones. I surprisingly, Lethal VR was a PSVR game. I was addicted to that game for a while because it was like kind of like a target shooting game. So I was like, throw me all the targets, and you're like throwing knives. You're trying to hit all the achievements at certain times. You're hitting all the trophies, all the time trials. Like that was actually a fun game on the PlayStation VR.
Oh yeah,
100%. I 100%ed that one, and Astro's Playroom as well.
Yeah.
If I am fairly confident that I maxed
TMNT. That was another one. I remember that for the 360. Anyway,
I'm pretty sure I got all the achievements for Rock Band 3. Is the only one I can probably say for sure on my Xbox that I completed all the way.
So we have some platinum achievements in our Discord. From Kip, Bloodborne.
Damn.
He said that was his first platinum. That means he did the Chalice dungeons. That means he's sadistic. And it's purely because I could not get enough of this game. Toem, my girlfriend Allie and I felt so cozy playing this game that we didn't want it to end. And then he says Rush Rover. I think I was drunk.
I 100%. I got a platinum for Hellblade. That's neat. Sorry.
Bryant says most recently Elden Ring, but also did Assassin's Creed 2. That's one that I almost got, but it's easy to get to this point.
There's
but that
one
last is bad.
feather in Assassin's Creed 2.
Is it broken?
It's broken. Could not find it. for the life of me. That was another one that I remember going through, and I was like, oh, I remember this because I could not freaking find it. One feather that was like lost in one of the towns or something like that.
Brian says Fallout 3 and Mass Effect. Anyone else on here? Yeah, Ryan's got a small list. Too many games that I want to play for me and get everything. If we're being strict about it being platinum, then the sole game is God of War Ragnarok. Extra bosses were fun, and the Ravens were a lot easier to find. There was also a cool little extra achievement quest that was a tribute to the programmer that passed away. If we're also going by Steam perfect scores, which we will, I would count that. Nier Automata, the multiple endings made it fun, plus it was great finding all the Easter eggs to the first Nier game, like battling my sweet boy Emil. Yes, this also means that I had to do the upskirt on 2B for the achievement. LOL. Yeah, you have to trick her to get an upskirt shot, and that's one of the achievements.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
And What Remains of Edith Finch, basically get all the achievements for completing the game. I didn't have to go back and listen to the Sailor song. It was just too easy to want to swallow him as the monster. Judge Tempest says, Ender Lilies, Quietus of the Nights. Mainly got this one through natural progression. They don't ask you to do anything insane. Nier Automata, I only bought one achievement. That was the killing of Emil achievement, oddly enough. LOL. Inside, Tunic, and Elden Ring. And that's what our Discord was saying with some of their platinum trophies.
So wasn't it? Do you guys remember like the earlier Call of Duties?
Yeah, so I played
One of my first times being stoned was Call of Duty 2.
Yeah, one of the I think it was like the Infinity Ward games where you literally just got achievements for. There were no multiplayer achievements. You literally just got achievements playing the campaign missions.
Yeah.
And I remember like the one time I was like really trying to work hard for an achievement was the at the end of Modern Warfare. When you're trying to get out of the plane, you're saving the hostage and you're trying to get out of the plane and you're trying to beat that game on veteran.
The airplane level is fucking impossible.
It's impossible. I remember I was stuck on that for like at least 2 hours straight.
Because you just drug up some old memories about how much
I literally just remembered it just now because I saw Call of Duty fly through one of my lists.
Damn,
and I was like,
that was
I remember
difficult.
that because like you had like obviously it was like almost like 2 hits you were dead. The time was already limited. I think you had like 45 seconds to get off the plane, but it was just like, man, like you had to really meticulously like, okay, I'm going to move here and I'm going to slide past this seat. I'm going to pop off for a quick second, pop, and then go, and then man.
And you had to hit it just right too, because you had to flashbang one dude, shoot him, but you ended up having to do several moves, and you just had to link them together and just not think.
Yeah, and if you didn't nail it right on the first go, you might as well just restart.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I missed that. I missed that window, and I know I'm not going to make it no matter how hard I try. I'm just going to restart.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the most difficult things I've ever done.
Because I know there's a lot of those moments where it's like sometimes you see the trophy and you're like, I think this is worth getting. This is worth getting if I could really work hard at it. And that was definitely one that it's like I remember my buddies were like, how did you do this? How did you do this? Well, it's like, can you show me? Like, and everyone's like, no, I never want to do that ever again.
Yeah. Back when in high school, we all paid a lot of attention to our gamer scores.
Yeah.
And Avatar: The Last Airbender would give you like 1,000 points for like completing the intro.
And it was like a bullshit game, right?
Yeah. It was Avatar.
That's why I mentioned TMNT, because I remember I got that game for cheap at EB Games at the time, and I remember just 100%ing it. All you had to do was just literally just beat the game. That was it. And I just remember my friends coming to me like, "So you were playing TMNT last night, huh?" I was like, "Well, it's an easy 1,000 gamer score."
It's bullshit. It doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
Your
Yeah,
gamer
exactly.
score is bullshit, dude.
Yep.
My
Yeah.
score's still better.
Sure, whatever.
That's why you played Avatar?
I never did. I refused to. Plus, there was one copy at Family Video, and everybody rented it all the time.
It's very funny to me when I see a YouTube video like quickest 10,000 gamer points. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Go out to a bar, talk to somebody.
Yeah, right.
Maybe have a walk.
They're doing that now. It's silent walking, where you don't listen to anything and you just exist.
Oh
in the
my
world.
God, I just heard about this.
Yes,
It's just called your phone died.
Yeah.
this lady is like, I've started a movement. I walk, and I don't listen to anything, and I just enjoy being outside. It's like, yeah, that's what everybody did for the entirety of the universe up until like 1980.
Human history
50,000
is shaking their head. It's like, oh God, we have lost it.
Yeah, we
I
really
invented
have.
this thing. It's called outside.
and
With
just looking at
no
things.
phone.
Yeah.
You guys ever heard of water?
You guys know you could drink out of the hose in your backyard?
No,
crazy.
you get salmonella or something.
No
yeah.
Bluetooth. No
Yeah.
Bluetooth. That's all that I have for achievements.
Yeah. Let us know. Like, is it worth it? Do you guys hunt achievements? Do you find it particularly annoying when you really like a game and the achievements are play it again harder and faster?
What's the toughest achievement you got? Let us know.
Yeah. Because for me, I still always think back to that Modern Warfare mission at the end. Just really just going at it. Actually, do you guys remember the game Eat Lead, The Return of Matt Hazard for the 360?
Yeah.
This literally just popped in my head. You know you get achievement points for hitting pause?
What?
Yes. You
If
get an
you pause the game, you
yeah,
get an
it's like
achievement?
20 gamer score points just hitting the pause button.
I feel like in Nier Automata, there's also like you can buy all the achievements. There's a spot in the shop you can just buy all of them. And they just unlock. Because that's
cheating.
No, that's fucking Yoko Taro. That dude's
I
like,
suppose,
fuck
yeah.
it.
Yeah, here you go. Here's achievements.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember the achievements in that game because it was like, you know, it's a satire action game or whatever. Because I think they give you just like random achievements like throughout the thing. It's like, hey, here's an extra 10 gamer score points just for the hell of it. Like, oh, thanks, I guess.
Yeah.
Take your gamer scoring.
Yeah,
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tell your friends about it.
Will Arnett and Neil Patrick Harris, I think, voiced that game.
Interesting.
Will
Yeah.
Arnett is fucking everywhere, man.
Yeah.
After BoJack Horseman.
But is
And
it
Lego
Legos?
Batman?
Yeah. Well, he hosts the Lego show now.
Oh, yeah, that's
Well,
true.
he's
he does.
Batman.
He's Batman, and he hosts
Oh, yeah.
Lego Masters. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, coming up next, or coming soon, whatever you want to call it, Elden Dogs will be delving into cut content.
Very good episode.
This is probably my favorite Elden Dogs episode of all time.
Whoa. It was a very good one.
Because I did none of the research, so it was like me going to like a community college class on cut content by Elden Ring.
And it's very fun because it's got all of the cut dialogue that they have in the game that you can't hear. There's a lot of dialogue you get to hear of the voice actors, which is fun.
Yeah, and we actually play it, so you can actually hear it.
And if you want part 2, and as well as Elden Dogs 25, which is our gamer profiles for Miyazaki and Martin, those are available to Patreon members right away.
Yes. So if you're hankering for some more Elden Dogs, it is out there. It exists. You can get it. Raw Dogs ventures back into Final Fantasy X.
Yeah, we do.
This is going to be a good episode because I'm
so excited.
I have a lot of sentimental attachment to this game, and I've never beaten it, and I'm 10 hours in.
I've never been
Let's
more
go.
I've never been more upset at a game and still in love with it.
You know, that's always been my thing with Final Fantasy X too as well. It's like I hate it, but I love it.
10 is 10, not 10-2.
I know. Well, 10, I don't want to talk about 10 too, but 10.
I do, but not yet.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And Popcorn Dogs will reconvene, and we're going to go into MCU Phase 3.
Now, what's fun about this is we recorded this probably like 8 months ago, so I
Yeah.
don't even remember what we said.
Me either. It's been around for a while, and if you were on the Patreon, you would have already laughed and probably cried. We probably moved you to tears.
For Patreon members, though, next week we record our console retrospective for the original Xbox, and there's a lot of fucking juicy story. I've been very happy doing the research, as well as a Popcorn Dogs for the Evil Dead franchise.
Yes, and I'm looking forward to that one. My favorite horror franchise, possibly of all time.
Spoiler warning,
We'll see.
I don't like it as a horror franchise. It's a great comedy franchise.
Oh,
This is going to be a good episode. Hair of the Dogcast exists because of people like you. Thank you so much for listening. As we just said, if you want more of this content, if you're looking for more episodes, if you just can't get enough, we have a Patreon. You should definitely be on there. We have a baller-ass Discord with a lot of jokes and memes and cool people in it. You can come tell us why you hate achievements. Or actually, we'll give you an achievement. If you pop in the Discord, you get an achievement from Tyler right now.
We'll Photoshop a picture of Tyler as the Hamburglar, and it'll say achievement unlocked.
Yeah, so can you do the noise again? It'll be just like that.
That was actually pretty good.
yeah.
So yeah, if you want access to Doggies After Dark, Popcorn Dogs before it normally comes out, right?
Way before
Before it comes out. Elden Dogs and all the cool shit we're doing, get on Patreon. Otherwise, you can at us on Twitter, or is it X now?
I refuse. It's Twitter.
Okay, you can tweet us on the Twitter at HotDogcast. You can email us at hairofthedogcast.com, and we are on Instagram at...
hairofthedogcast@gmail.com.
Did I say Instagram.com?
You said hairofthedogcast.com.
Oops. hairofthedogcast@gmail.com, and we are on Instagram.
We're on Threads and Blue Sky, but I don't do fuck with it.
Yeah, I'm not on Threads.
Yeah.
What's Blue Sky? Is that anything?
It's a more exclusive, non-Mark Zuckerberg version of Twitter and Threads.
Okay.
It's not better. It's fine because it's like less bots. That's good.
Yeah.
But also, no one's really on there as much yet.
Okay.
So it's a little bit like hitting a tennis ball against a wall. Yeah, we're part of Tokyo Beat Podcast Network, though. Check out those other shows.
Yeah, and I'm going to give a quick shout out to our executive producers, a.k.a. the best people on the planet, Ryan, Christy, Nick, Kipper, who we just found out is a masochist because he platinum Bloodborne.
Yes, we do.
Brian Ward, Jordan Hoff, Phil Wright, and Philium Birkin.
Brand new.
Brand new.
Oh, I get the reference of Philium Birkin.
Now, yeah,
Welcome
I have
to
a
the team.
sneaking suspicion this might actually be one of the creators of the T virus,
the S virus?
the S virus. I think we might have somebody from Raccoon City on our Discord.
Yeah. I want to talk to this guy, see what he's up to.
Philium Birkin.
Yeah.
Is that short for William
Do
Birkin?
you live underground?
Are you
Like 20 stories underground.
Are you a monster?
Do you have a big eye in your shoulder?
Does your commute involve a 20-minute elevator ride?
Do you have a very vulnerable eye on your chest?
Does it itch?
Do you have many red and green plants growing around your house? Yeah. You said Tokyo Beat. We're part of the Tokyo Beat Podcast Network. Thanks for listening. And one for the road, gentlemen. I have mine locked and loaded because I've been obsessed with it all month.
Well, you lead it then.
The album Into the Pudding by Diet Light, DIET space LITE, a local Milwaukee band. I've seen them several times now, but their album Into the Pudding is fantastic. I just saw them blow the doors off Linneman's like 2 weeks ago. It's a trio, 3-piece, and they fucking rock.
My one for the road, if you haven't watched it or heard about it, I would be surprised, but watch Fall of the House of Usher. If you like horror, if you like style, if you like good quality filmmaking, great writing, great acting, one of the best shows I've seen so far this year, check out Fall of the House of Usher. It's on Netflix, and you're welcome.
I discovered a new band this year called Conquer Divide.
I know Conquer Divide.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know they've been around a little bit longer, but I've only just recently discovered them, and I just can't stop playing their latest album.
Good shit.
Really good. Like, every song is just phenomenal. But one of my favorite parts about them is watching videos of them reading mean tweets. And a lot of guys have weird obsessions with the way girls' feet smell. Why?
That's a tweet that they had to read, huh?
Yeah, they had to read that. And it was like, like a good solid band. Like, like you got your guttural vocals, you got your clean vocals, you got, really good composition.
We had to talk to Carly about this. She'd
Yeah.
probably love them.
I would. But, just become kind of like my new obsession this year.
And I'm not going to yuck yums. If you like smelly feet, as long as it's consensual, go smell those smelly feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do you, baby.
Tarantino is one of the best filmmakers. Yeah.
This has been Hair of the Dogcast.
Number 137 or 36 or something.
Just a whole bunch.
Just a whole bunch.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch.
Thanks again for joining us, Toy.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It's fun hanging out with you guys.
We'll have you on again very soon.
Cool.
Maybe more regularly.
Well, I'm around. I live in the neighborhood. So,
Perfect.
15 minutes that way.
15 minutes the other way.
But you're always late because you're hungover.
I was early today.
We'll see you next time.